Good morning. I will call this organizational meeting of the County of Newell to order at 9:01 a.m. I am Chief Administrative Officer Matt Finsky. The first order of business will be the oaths of office for each councillor. We have the county's Executive Assistant, Ariana Nilsson, here to administer the oaths. Each councillor, if you can approach the microphone, read the oath, sign it, Ariana will commission it, and then you can return to your seat. So we'll get through those in order of division. So why don't we start with Councillor Baumgarten?
I, Dan Baumgarten, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of Councillor for the County of Newell. So help me God.
Next up, Councillor Skanderup.
Thank you. I, Adina Skanderup, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of Councillor for the County of Newell. So help me God.
Councillor Kopp.
I, Lynette Kopp, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of Councillor for the County of Newell. So help me God.
I, Holly Johnson, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of Councillor for the County of Newell. So help me God.
I, Greg Screever, do swear that I diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of Councillor for the County of Newell. So help me God.
I, Kelly Chrisman, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of Councillor for the County of Newell. So help me God.
I, Neil Johnson, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and do the best of my ability execute according to law the office of Councillor for the County of Newell. So help me God.
I, Benjamin Hofer, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to the law the office of Councillor for the County of Newell, so help me God.
I, Arno Dirksen, do affirm that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of the Councillor for the County of Newell, so help me God. Oh. You only have so much to work with.
Arno, you gotta sign.
Well, thank you, councillors. On behalf of administration of the County of Newell, welcome. We are excited to serve this new council. County of Newell is an excellent place to work, live, raise a family, recreate. We've got it all here, and it's been a real pleasure to serve previous council, and we're looking forward to serving this new council. Next item on the agenda, excused from meeting. Thankfully, you're all here. You will see in your agenda packages, we've included some of the key bylaws, terms of reference for key committees there. That's for your information. Please read through them. If there's suggested edits, we can get to those as we move through this next 4-year term of council. Also, you'll see some key policies we've highlighted for your information. Your great inheritors, to repeat our good friend George Cuff. Administration will let you know the way things have been, and it is up to council to change things as you see fit. So if there's policies that need some rounding of rough edges, we're happy to engage with council and make those changes. Moving on, item 5, nomination or volunteer and election of the REEVE. With that, I will open the floor and call for nominations or volunteers for the position of REEVE. I will call 3 times. At the end of the 3rd call, we will either vote or I will declare nominations cease. And with that, the floor is open for nominations. Councillor Chrisman.
I would like to nominate Arno Dirksen for REEVE.
Councillor Chrisman nominates Councillor Dirksen. I will call a 2nd time for nominations for the position of REEVE. And I will call a 3rd time for position of REEVE. Seeing none, I declare nominations cease and declare Arno Dirksen, REEVE of the County of Newell. Congratulations. With that, if you can present at the mic, and Ariana will administer oath of the office of REEVE.
I, Arno Dirksen, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute according to law the office of REEVE for the County of Newell, so help me God.
With that, I'd invite Reeve Dirksen to take the Reeve seat, and the heavy lifting has been done on my part, and we'll tag the Reeve to take us through the rest of the organizational meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt, and good morning, everyone, and thank you for your support. It's been an absolute privilege and honor to serve as REEVE for the last 4 years, and I look forward to moving forward together with all of you, and I don't take that for granted. The position and the weight of all of the positions that we'll decide today, excuse me, come with the weight of the 9 of us, the decisions of the 9 of us and the 7,500 people that we represent out in the county. So I look forward to serving together with you, and it is the decisions and the direction that we set together that make us effective, and I look forward to what we can achieve over the next 4 years. So thank you very much. So we are to item number 5, nominations or volunteers for the position of Deputy REEVE. And similarly, I will open the floor for nominations and offer 3 times, after which we'll either have an election or I'll declare nomination cease, and then we'll either declare a Deputy REEVE or have an election. So are there nominations, Greg?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Kelly Chrisman as Deputy REEVE.
Okay, Kelly's nominated. You accept? Are there further nominations? Are there any further nominations? That is the 3rd time, so I'll declare nominations cease. Congratulations, Kelly. I invite you to take the oath of office.
I, Kelly Chrisman, do swear that I will diligently, faithfully, and to the best of my ability execute, according to law, the office of Deputy REEVE for the County of Newell. So help me God.
Okay, we have quite a number of committees and appointments to make this morning. Is there any discussion that you'd like to have before that? If not, we'll move right through this fairly straightforward. But if there are discussions you'd like to have along the way, don't hesitate to raise your hand, and we can discuss things as we need to. So item number 7.1 is the Agriculture Service Board, which has been the 9 councillors serving together. And if we have a motion to continue that way, we can do that. But someone needs to make the motion. Holly, please.
I'd like to motion that the role and responsibility of the county's Agricultural Service Board be delegated to and be carried out by County Council.
Thank you. We have the motion. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. The Soil Conservation Act Appeal Committee similarly is the 9 councillors, and that simply is by order of bylaw and regulation. Municipal Planning Commission will also consist of the full council as per bylaw 1680-09. The MPC will elect a chairperson and vice chairperson at their first meeting following the organizational meeting. So that will happen later this morning. The Agriculture Pest Act, Weed Control Act Appeal Committee up to 4 members at large. The existing members at large that agreed to serve an additional term are Edward Bidet and Doug Rogers. Advertisements for members at large were published in the Brooks Bulletin and on the County of Newell webpage and social media channels. Applications received are Renee Abo Karob, a City of Brooks resident. So we have three people potentially nominated, but we need a motion to approve, to enact that. Holly?
I believe our policy says the persons appointed are supposed to be County of Newell residents, and this person is a City of Brooks resident. So I'm curious if we want to go that direction, or we'd like to leave the position vacant and search for a county resident.
Okay, that's a good point. Thank you. Is there discussion around that item? I think that, go ahead.
I feel we
Councillor
should adhere
Pop.
to, we should adhere to our bylaws and keep it as a County of Newell resident requirement.
Okay, that's, and I think the way we can do that is simply appoint the 2, Edward Bidet and Doug Rogers, and not the 3 if someone makes that motion, right? Matt, that's
I can make that motion.
okay, thank you, Lynette. So the motion is to appoint 2 people. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Councillor Chrisman.
Reeve Dirksen, just a question on that. So would administration continue to advertise for 2 more volunteers from the community?
Yeah.
Just checking. Thank you.
That will continue to be open as people bring their names forward or we have nominees. Let's move on to item number 7.5, the Airport Commission. We have been appointing 1 councillor and 2 members at large. Are there nominations for the, or volunteers for the Airport Commission? Neil? Councillor Neil Johnson nominates Councillor Skanderup. Are there further nominations? Third call for further nominations. Seeing none, I'll declare Councillor Skanderup elected to the Airport Commission. Excuse me. The existing members at large have agreed to serve an additional term. That would be Ronald Sarita. Advertisements for members at large were published in the Brooks Bulletin and the County of Newell web page, as well as social media channels, and applications were received from Tim Spielman, who also applied pardon me, for the Palliser Economic Partnership, as well as Kent Torkelson. Okay, we have, would someone be prepared to make a motion that would appoint 2 of the 3 members at large to continue? Neil?
Yeah, one question first. What's the Palliser Economic Partnership got to do with this? Like, I think that should be county members.
Yeah, we're dealing with the Airport Commission. That's just there for information. Yeah. Dina, Councillor Skanderup, please.
I would like to move that we appoint Ron Sarita and Tim Spielman as members at large for the Airport Commission for the first year of a 4-year term.
Pardon me. Thank you. We have a motion on the floor. All in favor of the motion, please indicate, or is there further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate. Opposed? Okay, that's carried. The Local and Regional Assessment Review Board, item number 7.6. Members are required to complete new member training through Municipal Affairs. Then a refresher training program must be completed every 3 years to maintain Assessment Review Board certification. We have Daphne Atsy Martin is the chair, and that term expires March the 8th, 2026. Chris Dingwall is also on, and his term expires February 6th, 2026. Kevin Bridges' term expires on March 2nd, 2026. And Gwen Vickers' term expires April 7th, 2028. So we need a motion that council affirms the appointment of the following Assessment Review Board, as indicated. Greg, Councillor Screever.
Yes, I'd like to make that motion for the assessment review.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Bow River Basin Council, we have been appointing one councillor. Nominations are open for Bow River Basin Council. Neil?
I'll volunteer for that one.
Okay, thank you. We have Councillor Neil Johnson has volunteered. Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, we'll declare Neil as our representative to the Bow River Basin Council. Thank you, Neil. And I see that we have opportunity for discussing issues and goals for 2025 and 26 on a number of these appointments. I'm going to suggest that that be an ongoing conversation and one that we plan to have deliberately after this organizational meeting at some point. We'll get them on the schedule. Go ahead.
Yeah, that Bow River Basin, that ties into our possible influence on irrigation expansion and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty important.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Thank you. 7.8, Brooks Regional Tourism Association. We can appoint, we've been appointing one councillor. Are there volunteers or nominations? Councillor Chrisman?
I'd like to nominate Adina back to that board.
Okay. Councillor Scanderup. Okay, go ahead, Councillor Screever.
I would like to nominate Councillor Chrisman to that board.
Okay. You accept the nomination? I do. Okay, thank you. Are there further nominations? Councillor Holly Johnson.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Hofer.
You accept the nomination? Thank you. Any further nominations? Councillor Scanderup, please.
Just because I love to see a vote, I nominate Kelly, or Councillor Chrisman for the...
She's already been nominated. We will be...
Councillor Screever.
Oh.
The other Kelly.
Councillor Screever? You accept the nomination?
I'll decline.
You decline? Okay. We've had... go ahead, Councillor Chrisman.
In light of Councillor Hofer's nomination, I will withdraw my nomination. I think this would be a great committee for Councillor Hofer to cut his teeth into, and I did attend the AGM, and it's running pretty good, so I feel comfortable with that. So if everybody's okay with that.
You decline? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. I will call for one more call for nominations. Seeing none, we declare Councillor Hofer elected to the the Brooks Region Tourism Association. 7.9, CAO Performance Evaluation Committee. This committee involves the REEVE and two councillors, or two or more councillors. So we have the opportunity we need to elect at least two councillors, and we could do more. Councillor Johnson, please.
This was something that This is something at our training that was suggested that all councils should be a part of. So I'm wondering if you'd like to go on that track. If that is not amenable to the council, then I would volunteer to be on this committee.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Holly Johnson has volunteered. Councillor Neil Johnson.
Yeah, I agree with what Holly just said. I think it should be the whole council, because we just about do it the whole council anyways behind closed doors. So
Okay, thank you for that. If there's a motion in that direction, we can certainly do that. Councillor Chrisman?
That was to be my motion, that we amend this to include all council members as CAO Evaluation Committee.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Councillor Scandrop.
So will this now be a paid committee meeting for all of us then? Is that right?
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, please indicate. Opposed? Okay, that's carried. Thank you. Item number 7.1, City of Brooks Recreation and Parks Board. Division 5 councillor, Division 7 councillor, and up to 3 members at large. And we have Kathy Delday and Kathy Safronovich as members at large. Is there a motion to give us direction here? Councillor Scandrop.
I'd like to move to appoint Councillor Greg Screever and Councillor Neil Johnson and Kathy Delday and Kathy Safronovich to the City of Brooks Recreation and Parks Board.
Thank you for that. Councillor Holly Johnson, you have a comment?
Are we looking for a third member of large? Neil or Greg, yes?
Okay, so that is by way of information. We have a motion to appoint the 2 councillors and 2 members at large, and the position is open for an additional member at large as that arises. So all in favor of the motion, please indicate. Opposed? That's carried. Thank you. Councillor Chrisman.
Reeve Dirksen, I'm just wondering through to administration, do we have a bylaw on this committee for the operation of the City of Brooks?
Parks and Rec Board.
Yes, this is a good question. I know the City of Brooks has the bylaw which establishes the county seats on the board, but administration does have a task falling out of our orientation sessions with both Brownlee and Mr. Cuff to look at each of the committees which are established and ensure that we have current bylaws in place for those. So administration will return and report.
Okay, thank you for that. Councillor Compensation Review Committee, we have been appointing 3 councillors for that. Nominations are open, nominations or volunteers for the Councillor Compensation Review Committee. Councillor Johnson, please.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Kopp so that we have somebody returning.
Councillor Kopp accepts, thank you. Are there further nominations? Councillor Johnson, Neil Johnson.
I'd like to nominate Dan.
Dan accepts, thank you. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Councillor Kopp, please.
I'd nominate Greg.
Greg Scraver is nominated. You accept?
No, I'll decline that one.
Decline? Okay. Are there further nominations?
Do we need 3?
Any further? Go ahead.
I'll nominate Councillor Chrisman.
Okay. Do you accept?
Been there, done this. It's a way more complicated than it used to be. I'll accept.
Okay. Thank you. We have 3 council members nominated, Councillor Baumgartner, Councillor Kopp, and Councillor Chrisman. Are there further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and look for a motion to appoint the three of them to this position. Councillor Cobb,
I'll make the motion.
thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That's carried. Thank you. (7.12) County of Newell Library Board. We will appoint one councillor and 9 members at large. Nominations are open for the council member to the Newell Library Board. Councillor Chrisman?
I'm looking at Councillor Kopp. Are you interested in this committee again? I know you sat there last term.
I can if nobody else is interested.
You'll accept the nomination? Thank you. Any further nominations? Councillor Scandrup.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Holly Johnson.
Councillor Johnson, do you accept?
I've done the library board, so I decline, but I will nominate Councillor Scandrup.
Do you accept Councillor Scandrup?
I'll accept simply because I want to see a vote.
Okay. Are there further nominations? Seeing no further nominations, I will call for the vote and write one name, Councillor Kopp or Councillor Scandrup.
You're such a troublemaker. Okay, Councillor Scandrup has been elected. So I will look for a motion to appoint Councillor Scandrup as well as the 8 appointments to members at large, realizing that the Gem Library District has a vacancy that we will be looking to fill. Someone prepared to make the motion? Councillor Baumgartner? Thank you.
I'll move that Councillor Scandrup takes the councillor position and the people listed take the members at large.
Thank you for that. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Crop Diversification Center South Revitalization Committee, we need 4 councillors and 2 members at large. Nominations are open. For Councillor Johnson, please. Holly Johnson.
I'll volunteer to stay on that committee.
Thank you. I would too, but Councillor Baumgartner?
I would like to volunteer for this one as well.
Okay, thank you. Further nominations or volunteers? Councillor Chrisman?
I would like to go ahead and nominate Dan, Arno, and Holly to CDC committee.
Okay,
Pardon?
thank you.
4 councillors and
we-
Neil Johnson.
Neil
Councillor
Johnson. Okay. So we have, Neil, you would accept that? Okay. Councillor Cobb?
I would volunteer to
Okay,
sit
to
on
be
that
on that.
committee, if that was all right.
So that we have 4 people that have been nominated and/or volunteered. Councillor, myself, Councillor Kopp, Councillor Baumgartner, and Councillor Holly Johnson. And I think we still have 2 members at large from previous appointment, David Andrews and Bruce Bylaw. So Councillor Christman makes a motion that these 6 people be appointed to that committee. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Item 7.14, Fire Area Committee, Duchess and Rural Area, Councillor from Division 8 and one other councillor. So Councillor Hofer is on, and we need one other councillor. Councillor Johnson, please.
I'll nominate Councillor Kopp.
Okay, Councillor Kopp accepts that position. Are there further nominations? Third call for further nominations. I'll declare nominations cease, and I would like a motion that we appoint Councillor Hofer and Councillor Kopp to that position. Councillor Christman, you make that motion? I do. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. 7.15, Fire Area Committee, Rosemary and Rural Area. Councillors from Division 9, which would be myself and one other councillor. Are there nominations, please? Councillor Scandrup.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Hofer.
Okay, Councillor Hofer, you accept that? Any further nominations? Third call for further nominations. I will declare nominations cease and ask for a motion to appoint Councillor Dirksen and Councillor Hofer. Councillor Kopp, please.
I'll make that motion to appoint Councillor Dirksen and Councillor Hofer.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Foothills Little Bow Municipal Association, that has been the 9 councillors that serve on committee and will continue that way unless there's another direction, realizing that we don't always make it to that, but we're well represented. So that will continue. Let's move on to item 7.17, Grasslands Regional FCSS. We need 1 councillor and 1 member at large. Are there nominations? Councillor Neil Johnson.
I'd nominate Greg Screever for that one.
Councillor Screever, you accept?
No, thanks. Sorry.
Further nominations or volunteers? Councillor Johnson.
I'll volunteer to stay on that one.
Thank you. Any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease. And you notice on item number B there that Amanda Philpott has agreed or has applied to be the council member at large. And so I would like to see a motion put forward that we appoint Councillor Holly Johnson and Amanda Philpott as our member at large, our council and members at large to the Grasslands Regional FCSS. Councillor Screever.
Yes, I'd like to make that motion.
Thank you for that. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Intermunicipal Affairs Committee voting members, that includes the REEVE and 1 councillor. So I will call for nominations or volunteers. Councillor Johnson.
I'd like to nominate Greg Screever.
Greg Screever has been nominated. You accept?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and ask for a motion that the REEVE and Councillor Screever be appointed to the Intermunicipal Affairs Committee as voting members. Councillor Scandrup makes that motion. Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for Bassano, Division 6 councillor and 1 additional councillor. Are there nominations for the second councillor to that position? Councillor Christman.
Keeping with history, REEVE Dirksen, typically as our closest neighbor, you have filled that position, so I would like to nominate you for that position.
Okay, based on historical pattern, I'll accept unless there are further nominations. Any further nominations? I'll declare nominations cease and ask for a motion to appoint myself and Councillor Chrisman to that committee. Councillor Holly Johnson.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor? That is carried. You're good. Intermunicipal Development Plan for Brooks. 3 councillors. The CAO attends as a non-voting member. So nominations for Intermunicipal Development Plan for Brooks. Councillor Skanderup.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Baumgartner.
You accept that nomination? Yes. Maybe you're considering based on geography, I expect, partly? Or you?
Yeah, to be honest, I was looking at Cypress and Tabor. I would be volunteering for those as they border my division. I'm not saying I can't or won't do Brooks, but if there's people closer to Brooks that may be better synchronized with the activities, if nobody else wants it and we have to fill it, I'll take it. But I'd rather not.
Okay, thank you for that, Councillor Holly Johnson, and then Neil.
I'll nominate Councillor Screever.
Councillor Screevers accepts. Councillor Neil Johnson.
I'll volunteer for that one if that's all right.
Okay, Councillor Chrisman.
REEVE Dirksen, I just have a question on this one. IDPs, why do we have different numbers with different municipalities? And that would be through to administration.
Thank you for the question, Matt. Could you clarify some of that?
I cannot clarify the logic behind it. Each IDP is set by bylaw, and the composition of the committees is stated in there. If council would like to reduce or increase any number of councillors on any of those, we can bring the bylaw back for consideration.
Okay,
So further question.
thank you. Follow-up question?
Follow-up question is, so does the bylaw state that 3 councillors from the city of Brooks would also be on this? Okay, thank you.
I think on that basis, it makes sense that we have 3. Councillor Holly Johnson and then Councillor Screever.
Given that my division is now closer to Brooks, I could volunteer to be on that one, so, if that fits.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Screever.
I'd like to nominate Ben Hofer for that one also.
Okay, Councillor Hofer, you accept? Okay. Councillor Johnson,
I will withdraw.
withdraw?
Yes.
Okay. And that's, you withdraw as well, Councillor Baumgartner?
I'll withdraw.
Okay, thank you. Any further nominations? We have Councillor Neil Johnson, Councillor Greg Screever, and Councillor Ben Hofer. Any further nominations? I'll declare nominations cease and ask for a motion that we appoint the 3 of them to council. Councillor Copland.
I'll make that motion to appoint Councillor Johnson, Councillor Hofer, and Councillor Screever.
Okay, thank you for that. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Neil Johnson. Yeah. Intermunicipal Development Plan for the Cypress County. We need 2 councillors, and I think Councillor Baumgarten has volunteered for that. Councillor Skanderup.
I would also like to volunteer.
Are there any further nominations? Thank you for that. Any further nominations? Seeing none, I will declare nominations cease and ask for a motion that we appoint Councillor Baumgarten and Councillor Screever. Councillor Chrisman, thank you. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Intermunicipal Development Plan Committee for the Village of Dutchess and the Division 8, Councillor Hofer, and 1 other councillor, Councillor Kopp.
I would volunteer for that one.
Thank you for that. Any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and ask for a motion to the effect of appointing Councillor Hofer and Councillor Kopp.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Similarly, 7.23, the intermunicipal development plan for Rosemary, Division 9 councillor, as well as one other. Are there nominations or volunteers? Councillor Scandrop.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Chrisman.
Okay, you accept? I do. Any further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I will declare nominations cease and ask for a motion to appoint myself and Councillor Chrisman to the Rosemary IDP Committee. Councillor Scandrop makes that motion. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Intermunicipal development plan for the special areas. 2 councillors. Councillor Kopp,
I would volunteer for that one.
volunteer. And I think maybe Councillor Johnson.
Yeah, I know a lot of those guys. I'll volunteer for that one too.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Scandrop. Pass. Okay. Any further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I will look for a motion to appoint Councillor Neil Johnson and Councillor Kopp. Councillor Screever, thank you.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Okay, IDP for the MD of Tabor. We need one councillor. Councillor Scandrop.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Baumgartner.
Okay, Councillor Baumgartner, you accept? Thank you. Councillor Holly Johnson,
I will volunteer for that one.
volunteers for that as well. Are there any further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I will look for a motion to appoint Councillor Baumgartner and Councillor Johnson.
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. IDP with the County of Vulcan. We need 2 councillors. Councillor Scandrop.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Chrisman.
Councillor Chrisman is nominated. Any further nominations? Councillor Johnson.
That one borders me, so I'll volunteer for that one too.
Thank you. Any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and have a look for a motion to appoint Councillor Holly Johnson and Councillor Chrisman. Councillor Kopp makes the motion. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. IDP for Wheatland, 2 councillors. And I border that, as does Councillor Chrisman, so I would volunteer, as would Councillor Chrisman. Are there any further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, a motion to appoint Councillor Chrisman and myself. Councillor Johnson.
I'll make the motion to appoint you guys, both of you.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Well, we've got our IDPs covered. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. The Mayors and Reeves Association is self-explanatory. Newell Housing Foundation, we appoint 2 councillors. Are there volunteers or nominations to Newell Housing? Councillor Scandrop and then Councillor.
I would like to volunteer.
Councillor Scandrop volunteers. Councillor Screever. Are there further nominations?
Okay, I nominate Councillor Screever.
Councillor, you accept that? Yeah. Accept? Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and would like a motion to appoint Councillors Screever and Scandrop. Councillor Johnson?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion, please indicate. That is carried. Newell Recycling Association, we need 1 councillor. Councillor Johnson.
I'll nominate Councillor Kopp.
Councillor Kopp accepts. Thank you. Are there Councillor Chrisman?
Can we just take a moment and talk about Newell Recycling?
We can.
So I've been to one meeting. I went to their AGM last fall, or last spring. Is it off? Oh. I did go to an AGM, and to me, it's apparent that they should be with their parent organization, Newell Regional Solid Waste Management. I would like Councillor Kopp or Councillor Johnson to comment on that and see where this goes.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Kopp.
There has been some discussion about marrying them. So I don't know how quickly that's going to happen with the energy to waste facility that's coming online too right now, and et cetera, et cetera. So I do feel that whoever takes on the recycling should all take, solid waste should be hand in hand. So that, because the funding does come through solid waste to help keep the Recycling Association afloat. So I feel like those need to have the same set of eyes on everything that's going on.
Okay, thank you. So we're set up to handle these separately, which I'm going to say we will do, but I think we will certainly be open to them coming together. Councillor Johnson, you had a comment?
Yeah, I think there's a whole raft of new regulations coming down for funding as far as recycling goes. And the idea of it, as you said, marrying the solid waste is a good one. But until the solid energy from waste facility comes in, which will hopefully take out a lot of the recycling, it's probably a little premature to put them both together right now. But the writing's on the wall as far as Newell Recycling goes. They need a big shake-up and a big reorganization.
Okay, thank you. We have a nomination for Councillor Kopp. Will you'll accept the nomination? I think we've had a good we've had the discussion. I think that there's only so much we can change today, but I think we're open to that. Are there further nominations for the position of Newell Recycling Association? Seeing none, I will declare nominations cease, and could we have a motion to appoint Councillor Kopp? Councillor Scandrup, all in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Newell Regional Solid Waste Management Authority, we need one councillor, so I will open nominations for volunteers or nominations. Councillor Neil Johnson.
I would volunteer for that one.
Thank you. Councillor Screever, nominated. Okay, Councillor Cobb.
I would volunteer for that one.
Okay, thank you. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I will call for an election. Write one name, Councillor Kopp or Councillor Johnson.
You bring that out of your closet.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, Councillor Kopp has been elected to the Newell Regional Solid Waste Management Authority, so we need a motion to appoint her to that committee. Someone make that, call it Councillor Holly Johnson, please.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Newell Regional Services Corporation, NRSC, two councillors. Are there volunteers? Councillor Johnson,
I'd like to nominate Councillor Baumgarten.
you accept. Councillor Scandrup,
I'd like to nominate Councillor Neil Johnson.
Councillor Neil Johnson, you accept? Okay, you decline. Further nominations, Councillor Kopp.
I would volunteer for that one.
Volunteer for that, okay. So we have, are there further nominations? I will declare nominations cease, and we need a motion to appoint Councillor Baumgarten and Councillor Kopp to the new NRSC committee. Who would make that motion? Councillor Hofer?
I will make the motion.
Thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Palliser Economic Partnership. We need one councillor and one business representative. Councillor Johnson?
Since this was done, PEP has changed how things work. They no longer have business representatives. It is now two elected officials or an elected official, and in some cases it's been a CAO or an economic development officer. So we actually will be appointing two councillors to the position, of which of that board currently Arno is the chair and I'm the secretary-treasurer.
So on that basis, I guess I would volunteer and you would as well.
I would volunteer as
Councillor
well.
Scandrup?
I just had a question. I wasn't sure if you were on that because you were elected or if because the REEVE was just part of somebody who went.
No, it's not automatically the REEVE. It was because of the appointment of council. Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, we need a motion to appoint Councillor Johnson and myself to PEP. Councillor Chrisman, so moved. All in favor, please indicate. Okay, opposed? That's carried. Thank you. So the business representatives then, because of the ballot, that's no longer applicable. Okay. Recreation Board for the rural Brooks area. We have the councillors from divisions 5 and 7, and then 3 members at large from the Brooks rural area. Existing members at large that agreed to serve in an additional term are Julian Anacrico and Kathleen Safronovich. And there's been an advertisement out to which there was an application received from Jamie Harbinson, I'm sorry. So we need a motion to appoint those people. Go ahead.
I have a question with this one. Because the rec boards remained the same, only the divisions changed, I am now, part of my division is in that. So do I need to sit on there as well to represent the residents who were Division 5 and are now Division 4? I'm looking for clarification on that.
Okay, what is our perspective? Anyone who can speak to that? That is a change of areas connected to the city of Brooks for sure. Councillor Chrisman, you have a comment?
Yeah, comment, question. I wonder if this will be clarified once we get a bylaw in place to appoint these folks, because this may have been historical, that this is divisions used to be 5 and 10, now 5 and 7. So I think the bylaw would clarify that through the REEVE to administration.
Okay, thank you. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, the bylaw sets out the composition of the committee. If council would like to revisit the composition, we can certainly bring that bylaw back in short order.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And I posed the question to council, is it mandatory that 5, 7, 10, whatever why are we pigeonholing? To me, it's divisive. We have residents in Division 6 that come to Brooks for recreation. We have residents all over the county. So I'm just asking the question, why are we pigeonholing.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Screever.
Yeah, this isn't the Brooks Parks and Rec Board. This is the 5 and 10. So it is a question I have also because the Rec Board does not falls in three of our areas now. It'd be like me being on Dutchess, and that makes no sense, Kelly. So I think it involves the three of us, and I don't know how to address that until the rec boards change, the areas of the rec boards. So I'm not sure how to address that.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Holly Johnson.
I believe there was no plan to change the rec board divisions, right? So this would fund like Castles Hall, Silver Sage, things that are in those divisions, correct? Greg? Yeah, okay.
Okay, so thank you, Councillor Holly Johnson.
So I'd like to make a motion that we appoint as per our recommendation in our agenda with all those names.
Councillors Johnson, Screever, and the three members at large.
Yes, and a recommendation to admit they look at this bylaw very soon.
Okay, thank you. All in favor of the motion, please indicate. Okay, that's carried. Thank you. Recreation Board for the Bassano area, one councillor from Division 6, Councillor Chrisman, and one additional councillor. Are there nominations? Councillor Johnson.
I'll nominate Councillor Hofer.
Okay, Councillor Hofer, you accept that nomination? Okay, any further nominations? One more call for further nominations. Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and ask for a motion that we appoint Councillor Chrisman and Councillor Hofer. Councillor Scandrup makes that motion. All in favor, please indicate. Thank you. That's carried. Item 7.36, Recreation Parks and Culture Board for the Dutchess area. This will be Councillor from Division 8, Councillor Hofer, and one additional councillor. Are there nominations? Councillor Johnson.
I'll nominate the other Councillor Johnson.
Councillor Neil Johnson for the Dutchess Rec Board. Accept that? Okay. Any further nominations? Looking for further nominations. Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and ask for a motion that we, Councillor Kopp moves that we appoint Councillor Hofer and Councillor Neil Johnson. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Regional Emergency Advisory Committee, one councillor and one alternate, the director and deputy director. Councillor Johnson.
I'd like to nominate Dan.
And Councillor Baumgartner accepts. Thank you. Are there further nominations? Just a question about, I think the REEVE has been on that. Is that automatic or is it? It's not automatic. It's not automatic. It's not a, go ahead, Councillor Kopp.
So we need 4 people? Like
No, just.
councillor, an alternate, and it says director and deputy director. Can we get some explanation?
Just an explanation.
I can clarify. The director and deputy director are members of the committee. The director of emergency management and deputy director of emergency management. Director would be our fire chief, Chief Lukes, and you have a handful of deputy directors in the CAOs in the region.
Okay, thank you. Are there further nominations? Councillor Dan.
The way I read that is there's 2 of us, like there's a councillor and an alternate. So I would nominate Arno Dirksen to continue on as well, and then myself and Arno would be on this. At least that's how it reads to me.
Yeah, okay. And thank you for that. I'll accept that. Any further nominations? So the alternate and the first and second, do we need an election for that, or pardon me? There's just the 2, and that's okay that way.
We have clarity on the alternate.
We don't have clarity on the alternate. That's what I'm wondering about. Do we need to have an election for that? Pardon me? Yeah. I'm going to suggest that we have an election between Councillor Baumgartner and myself for the alternate.
Clarification, we're voting for the alternate or the counselor?
For the councillor.
For the counselor.
Yeah, yeah. So write one name, Councillor Baumgartner or myself.
Do we have a mover in this?
We will after we decide this, but not till we decide it.
No, you decide.
Pardon me?
Yeah.
We will after we do this, yeah.
Good thing you can keep it straight.
Yeah, because we've declared nomination cease.
Unspoiled, and then there's a tie.
So we're going to draw from the hat.
Because the next one will get alternate, right?
Yeah, so, yeah. Okay,
You spoiled.
we broke it.
Councillor Dan.
Okay, thank you. Just for explanation, there was a tie, there was a spoiled ballot, and then a tie, and that was settled. Councillor Dan Baumgartner will be the councillor, and I will be the alternate. So could I have a motion to that effect, Councillor Chrisman?
Yes, and I would like to add to my motion that Arno be the alternate to that committee.
Yes, thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Let's move on to item 7.38, Road Ban Committee. The REEVE and two other councillors. Are there nominations? Go ahead, Councillor.
I would volunteer and nominate Councillor Hofer.
Okay, you'll accept. So are there further nominations? Councillor Scanderup?
I would like to nominate Councillor Neil Johnson.
Okay, Councillor Johnson, you accept?
Be better on that committee than me, so I'll nominate him.
Nominate Councillor Baumgartner? Baumgarten, sorry. You accept? No? Decline? Are there further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and look for a motion to appoint Councillors Hofer and Holly Johnson as the councillors' representatives. Who makes that motion? Councillor Kopp, thank you. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. The Shortgrass Library Board. We need one councillor for that. Councillor Chrisman?
I'd just like to speak towards the engagement or the importance of Newell Library and Shortgrass Library, knowing and understanding the library system in Alberta, and so I would like to nominate Councillor Kopp for this position.
Thank you, Councillor.
Oh, right. Sorry. Old habits die hard. Councillor Adina Scanderup, please. I change my motion.
Okay, Councillor Scanderup has been nominated. You accept? Are there further nominations? Any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and ask for a motion that we appoint Councillor Scanderup. Go ahead, Councillor Johnson.
I'll make that nomination.
That motion is on the floor. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. We're getting dangerously close to the end. Item number 7.4, Subdivision and Development Appeal Board, up to 4 members at large. Members and clerks are required to complete new member training through Municipal Affairs, and then a refresher training program must be completed every 3 years to maintain certification. And we have a list there of people serving on that: BYLAWS, Lois Schmidt, Corey Springer, and Erwin Braun. Councillor Johnson.
I'll move that we confirm the appointment of BYLAWS, Lois Schmidt, Corey Springer, and Erwin Braun to the Regional Subdivision and Development Appeal Board.
Okay, thank you. All in favor of the motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Veterans Memorial Highway Association, we need one councillor. Councillor Screever.
I'd like to nominate Ben Hofer for that.
Councillor Hofer, you accept? Okay, thank you. Councillor Scandrup, you don't, going to be the same. Are there further nominations? Are there any further nominations? Seeing none, I'll declare nominations cease and ask for a motion that we appoint Councillor Hofer. Councillor Scandrup makes that motion. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Item number 8, we need a banking resolution as indicated, that we approve the banking resolution whereas the REEVE or Deputy REEVE and the Chief Administrative Officer, the Director of Corporate Services, or Controller be given the authority for the necessary signing of checks for the various county bank accounts. Is someone prepared to make that motion? Councillor Kopp?
Yes, I'll make that motion to approve the banking resolution.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, please indicate. Opposed? That motion is carried. Thank you. Now, we need to discuss our regular meeting schedule. The pattern has been alternate Thursdays, beginning today, I guess. And then occasionally we have skipped some along the way, right? But that is our choice. So is there any discussion about our schedule? Matt, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I'll draw council's attention to the request for decision in your package. You will see a proposed schedule for 2026. Effectively, we're out of sync for the first half of the year on the Thursday rotation, accommodating going up to Edmonton for ASB, trying to make that schedule a little more reasonable. The last half of the year kind of shifts back to the normal routine where you're meeting on the first Thursday of the first full week of the month and then 2 weeks later. We think we've got a calendar there for council, which is manageable on both administration and councillors' part. So we are recommending a motion that, where are we here? That the regular MPC, which is Municipal Planning Commission, I'll try to quit speaking in acronyms, and council meetings be held on the Thursday of the first full week of the month, beginning on a Sunday, and on the Thursday 2 weeks after the first meeting of the month. MPC meetings will begin at 10 a.m., and council meetings will begin after the MPC meeting adjourns. Further, that the amendments to the regular meeting schedule be accepted as presented in the 2026 regular meetings calendar, which is available in your attachments.
Thank you, Matt. Go ahead, Councillor Johnson.
Can I find out what the REEMP Phase 2 implementation is, which bumps one of our Thursdays to a Wednesday?
Okay, thanks. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that is the onboarding of our good friends at the City of Brooks into the Regional Emergency Management. So again, acronyms, Newell Regional Emergency Management Partnership.
Okay, thank you. And you're looking for a motion. We need a motion, right, to approve that, Councillor Chrisman?
I am willing to make a motion to accept option 1,
Okay.
which keeps our meetings in a regular fashion
Routine.
historically.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. We now need a motion to destroy the ballots. Councillor Kopp makes the motion to destroy the ballots. All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. And we're now very close to adjournment. I know that this has seemed somewhat routine, and it certainly is, but it also is significant because I think that all of us have appointments now from the 9 of us, and subsequently due to our appointments or our elections to the County of Newell, we serve at the we're at the service of council for all of these positions and look forward to serving together with all of you and doing what we can for the good of this region. So with that, I will adjourn this meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn? I can just adjourn the meeting, which I will do. Let's take 10 minutes. We're running a little bit behind.
Welcome to the County of Newell's Municipal Planning Commission meeting for October 30th, 2025. I will call this meeting to order at 10:25. First order of business will be the election of both the Municipal Planning Commission Chair and Vice Chair. With that, I will call for nominations 3 times, after which we'll either proceed with an election or I'll declare nominations cease. With that, I'll open the floor for volunteers or nominations for the position of Municipal Planning Commission Chair. REEVE Dirksen.
I will nominate Councillor Chrisman.
Councillor Chrisman has been nominated for the position of MPC Chair. Are there any other nominations? Calling a third time. With that, I will declare nominations cease and declare Councillor Chrisman the MPC Chair. Congratulations. And with that, Tag, you're it. You get to do all the heavy lifting for me.
First of all, thank you for your confidence and the opportunity to guide us through the municipal planning process for the next year. With that, I'd like to go ahead and open nominations for Vice Chair for Municipal Planning Commission. Or volunteers. Adina?
I'd like to volunteer.
Adina, volunteers. Any other volunteers or nominations? Any other nominations or volunteers? Seeing none, you are acclaimed. Welcome to the Planning Commission Vice Chair. We're back to our agenda. We're all here today, and we do have guests. So I'd like to go around the table, introduce ourselves, and then we're coming out to the audience. We'll be looking for a microphone to get our audience involved as well. So Neil, would you start us off?
Welcome. I'm Neil Johnson, Division 7 Councillor, north of Brooks.
Good morning, Adina Scandrup, Councillor for Division 2, the Hamlet of Tilly and surrounding area.
Good morning, all. I'm Benjamin Hofer, Division 8, Council for Dutchess.
Good morning. Greg Screever, Division 5, south of Brooks and Lake New Resort.
And I am Kelly Chrisman, Councillor at Municipal Planning Commission, Chair, and for the northwest side of the County of Newell.
Good morning, Arno Dirksen. I'm from Division 9, the Gem and now Rosemary area.
Good morning. Matt Finsky, Chief Administrative Officer.
Good morning, Holly Johnson from the newly expanded Division 4 for the areas of Rainier, Scandia, Bow City, Castles, and Antelope Creek.
Good morning, Dan Baumgarten for Division 1, Rolling Hills Councillor.
Good morning, I'm Lynette Kopp, Division 3, Patricia area.
Good morning, Emma Sinclair, Planning and Development Administrative Assistant.
Good morning, Catherine Siaklik, Communications Officer.
Hi, Sandra Stanway, Brooks Bulletin.
Hello, I'm Maria Jackson, Supervisor of Planning and Development.
I'm Jeff Tiffin, Manager of Planning and Development and Engineering. I'm Brian Plett from GEM.
Justin Plett from GEM.
Ariana Nielsen, Executive Assistant.
Shannalise Simpson, Development Officer.
Thank you and welcome everyone to our October 30th Municipal Planning Commission meeting for the County of Newell. We have minutes in our package. How do you wish to handle them? Councillor Kopp.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as presented.
We have a motion. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion? Thank you. Point of clarification for the chair. Are we counselors while we're still here? Do I identify my peers as counselors here? Because I don't think we are, but I would like somebody to reply to that.
Yeah. Well, you bring up an interesting question because we've had this conversation with administration. Do we refer to MPC members as members or counselors? I think you're safe with either or. Counselors maintains a level of decorum, and you are appointed to the MPC as counselors. So we can look into getting a technical answer if you'd like, but administratively we've figured you're safe saying members or counselor.
Thank you for that point of clarification. I will continue in that manner. We have an agenda in our package. Are there any additions or require a motion to approve? Adina.
We skipped the post-agenda items, but
okay.
I would approve the agenda if there's no post-agenda items.
Okay. Do we have any questions in the queue, Catherine? Seeing none. We have a motion to adopt the agenda as circulated. All in favor of that motion? That is carried. This is going to take some... I'll get there. Item 7, development report. Maria, you're taking that this morning? Or is Shanna Lee coming forward? Maria, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Reeve. This is the permitted use report, and if there are any questions, I can try to help.
Okay. Questions? Councillor Johnson.
2 questions. In the second one, the customer's name I'm probably going to pronounce wrong. So what is the small retail business? And under the Fairville Hutterite, we're missing some words at the end to say what they're doing.
My apologies. So the second one is that they're doing an online business. They sell stuff on Facebook, and then they keep it in their shop, and then people just come out and pick it up. So it's not a walk-in type of an operation. And the answer to the Fairville colony is we had approved a business, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was the insects where they use the fertilizer, and they are putting in addition, the building is going to be larger than what they had anticipated. They're going to be adding on to it. So that's what that one is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shanna Lee, for that. Any other questions? Seeing no hands, we'll accept that for information then. Item 9.1. Maria.
Thank you. This subdivision application number 2025-0-011 is for a proposed subdivision of an approximate 3-acre parcel from the northwest of 51915 for residential purposes. This proposed subdivision is located directly north of the hamlet of Castles in Division 4. It is in line with several existing residential subdivisions of the same size. Access to the proposed subdivision and the remnant parcel will be from Township Road 19-1. There are no existing developments on the proposed subdivision. The applicant has submitted a septic suitability study that indicates that the land is suitable for a private septic disposal system. A land use amendment received 3rd reading on December 19th, 2024 to change the land use district of just that 3-acre parcel from agriculture to residential rural district to allow for the additional subdivision on that quarter section. There are noted wetlands present on the parcel to be subdivided. There are no environmentally or historically significant areas within the subject parcel, and it is the developer's responsibility to ensure that all development complies with federal, provincial, and municipal statutes, regulations, codes, and standards. This was circulated to adjacent landowners and required referrals. There were no concerns raised by internal departments or adjacent landowners and referrals. It is recommended that this subdivision be approved with the conditions that all property taxes be paid, that the applicant supplies any utility right-of-ways, easements, and/or agreements that are required, specifically from the Eastern Irrigation District, prior to the finalization of the subdivision, and if required by municipal services, that the applicant enter into a development agreement with the county. Municipal reserve is also applicable for this parcel, as it is not a first parcel out or an agricultural subdivision. So policy POL 10-23 will apply. So it is recommended that that MPC take money in place of land in the amount of approximately $1,113.20, which is 10% of the value of the land that is being subdivided as per the policy. And that final amount will be determined at the time of finalization. Thank you.
You've heard the application. Councillor Johnson?
We haven't really seen one of these, or didn't in our last 4 years. So there's some curiosity questions. Is there a limit as to when we would say that's enough subdivisions, or they could technically go all the way around the outside and just, pick them off one by one? I'm just curious how that works.
Maria?
That's a good question and something we've actually discussed internally. Right now, the way the policy is and the bylaws, a land use amendment, if an additional subdivision, say, is requested at a later date, a land use amendment would be required. So that would go to council. If council decides that this is a suitable location for an additional residential parcel, then the land use amendment would go through, which would then allow for an additional residential subdivision. So that is when it's one at a time. If all of these were to be subdivided at the same time, then we would require an area structure plan to ensure that all the land is suitable for the purpose it's intended.
Councillor Screever.
Hi, Maria. Just a clarification. Now, this is outside of the borders of the hamlet, so bylaws are rural. Is that what it is, rather than the hamlet bylaws? Is that correct?
Maria?
Thank you. If this was within the hamlet, then the land use amendment should have been to residential hamlet district. Because it's outside of the hamlet, that's when the rural residential land use district comes into play.
How do you wish to handle this application? Lynette? Oh, Councillor Kopp?
I'm ready to make the motion to approve this with conditions.
Are there any further questions? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of the motion? That is carried then. Item 9.2. Maria.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is subdivision application 2025-0-012. The proposal is to subdivide two parcels from the northeast of 62216. It would be one 27.745 hectare parcel for agricultural purposes and another 1.729 hectare parcel for residential use. The proposed subdivisions are in Division 9, 12 kilometers northwest of Rosemary and 11 kilometers south of Gem. The proposed agricultural parcel will continue to be irrigated with a shared irrigation system with the remnant parcel. The applicant has indicated that the subdivision is for succession planning purposes, and the remnant and proposed parcel will continue to be irrigated as one unit. The northeast corner of the quarter will remain on the same title as the remnant, which would be the west side of the parcel. as the applicant utilizes that corner for hay storage, and there is also a well site located on that corner. The northeast corner is not physically or would not be physically connected to the remnant parcel should this subdivision be approved. The residential parcel contains a house, garage, barn, and outbuildings. The house and garage meet the setbacks of the land use bylaw. The outbuildings closest to the road is 10 meters closer to the setback than outlined in the land use bylaw. It's currently considered legal non-conforming. So the house is also serviced by a water well located in the garage, and the septic tank and an open discharge system services the wastewater. The septic system should be inspected or altered so that it will meet the criteria of the Alberta Safety Code standard. There is an approximate 15-meter lane between the proposed residential parcel and the south property line. So down here, this lane would remain on title with the remnant parcel, and the lane would serve as access to an existing well site and would also provide legal access to that west side parcel. There are no wetlands present on either parcel. There are no environmentally or historically significant areas, and there are no abandoned wells within the quarter section. So we did circulate this. Alberta Health Services has reviewed the application and has indicated that each parcel of residential land should have access to a legal source of potable drinking water. And as recommended by Alberta Health Services, and where water services are provided, sewer services approved by the appropriate agency must also be provided. Internal comments, there were some concerns raised about future challenges that may arise from having a shared irrigation system on two separate parcels of land with two different owners. The proposed agriculture subdivision is not consistent with policy 3.5B and 3.5E of the Municipal Development Plan, and I'll just review that really quick. So the Municipal Development Plan indicates that high-quality agriculture land should be protected for irrigation purposes and retained to support agricultural operations. And it also indicates that Council should consider maintaining large contiguous areas of high-quality agricultural land to minimize potential development conflicts. So the recommendation is that the Municipal Planning Commission approve with the conditions the subdivision of the residential lot of 4.27 acres and deny the agricultural subdivision containing 68.56 acres for agricultural use as proposed. Conditions, or the options that MPC have is to approve the subdivisions of two lots is option one. Option two is MPC approve with conditions the subdivision of the residential lot and deny the agricultural subdivision. Or option three, that MPC deny the subdivision of both lots. Conditions to be considered by the Municipal Planning Commission is that all outstanding property taxes be paid, that the applicant supplies utility right-of-ways, easements as required, that the applicant enters into a development agreement with the county if required, and that the applicant provide proof that the current PSDS system meets the Alberta private sewage system standard prior to finalization of the subdivision. And should MPC consider option one, approving both subdivisions, that the boundary line of the proposed agricultural parcel be amended to include the northeast corner of the quarter section so that all of the parcels within the subdivision are connected. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. And our applicants are present, so I invite you to come forward in case there are any questions. I guess my question, if I can begin the questions, I'll let you get settled. Welcome. My question is the purpose for the northwest subdivision. Can you fill me in what you're thinking there? I know there's hay stored there, or that's what we heard. Northeast, thank you. So what is the reasoning that you want that piece subdivided?
So, yes, Dad uses that for hay storage, as well as there's a well on there, which he would like to keep the well revenue as a separate part of it. So, as well as I am a very small farmer, and I think...
Sorry, just, yeah, now
Oh.
you're good. You don't have to hold it.
Sorry. And I think I can afford to buy that, but if I could limit my total expense of the land, that would be better for me as well.
So then a follow-up question to that is, if that corner is not approved today, how does that factor into your plans?
Well, if it wasn't approved, then if we had to, we would include that in the total subdivision of the east side, and I would figure out a way to pay that.
Yeah, okay. Great, thank you. Are there any other questions? Councillor Kopp and Councillor Johnson.
On other subdivisions where it's maybe even just acreages, there are agreements for water conveyance, like back in the day when it was just a ditch. You had to leave the ditch there so that other people could get water. So I feel like some of this could be alleviated with some just agreements, but not necessarily making property lines. Just thoughts on that, I guess. Like, have you considered that?
So you're talking about not subdividing and just having an agreement together?
Well, or even with the gas well, like that could be just an agreement as to who gets the gas well money, et cetera, right?
The pivot is irrelevant to him. It doesn't serve a purpose to him. That's why we kept it separate. Like it doesn't benefit him any. I could give it to him and then we could make this fly. But as far as farming the land, it's a dry corner. It doesn't really serve him a purpose. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think she's talking about keeping the corner separate.
Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
My mistake.
Yeah, I guess we could do that as well. It was just to limit the total cost of me buying the total property would be less if there's less land.
Councillor Johnson.
Yeah, I appreciate you mentioned this was a little bit of succession planning and things like that. This seems a little bit cumbersome to me for resale down the road with that split quarter, but that's your guys' business. Just give me a little bit of history of why you chose this way to go. Why not just put his name on title for half of it?
So with me applying for a loan through FCC, they would require him on the loan as well, which would tie up his ability to expand in other ways. And then also, he'd have to be a co-borrower of the loan. So we didn't want to do that.
Okay, just that's my only concern is that that is a really cumbersome system if it gets split.
Right. So in an ideal world, this would be a first step, and hopefully eventually I would own the whole quarter next.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if there was a legal way where you guys could, I mean, then this would just be a push through.
Right.
But that's your business. Just
yeah.
Have you looked at all those options? And
we have, and with me having to borrow the money, FCC wanted to be able to know which 60 some acres they are borrowing the money against. And so if something happened, they could repossess those acres, not, yeah.
Councillor Dirksen. Maria, thank you.
I think I can maybe just add to what the applicant said in response to Councillor Kopp's comment. What's presented to MPC now is the ideal situation for the applicants. This is what they've determined is the best. We have discussed, other options that may be a little bit more palatable for MPC to consider, which would be the recommended
option 2
condition that corner be included in the west half of that agricultural parcel. And then they've indicated that is something that they could work with. So this is ideal, and now MPC has the ability to alter things a little bit to make it a little bit better if you decide that.
Great, thanks for that clarity. Councillor Dirksen and then Johnson.
Thank you, and thanks for coming in today. Appreciate you being here to answer your questions, and certainly know that myself and council and the MPC is very looking to accommodate people doing the things that they want to, recognizing that the realities of farming require us to do things that we might otherwise not do because of financing and a whole range of matters. But I just had a question and appreciate the conversation we've had about the options, because I think council looks to try to approve progression as it's developed. But for staff, if the northeast corner were included in the subdivided parcel as was stated, under those circumstances, would you be recommending approval with the other conditions? Is that a fair question? Because in my mind, it's the corner on the north, the northwest, the northeast corner staying with the remnant parcel that causes the uncertainty. I think the other issues around irrigation and all that can easily be agreed to and managed, and it's a reality if the land was ever sold to uninterested or unconnected parties. But is that a fair question, or is it an... Go ahead.
Maria.
Or Chair.
The recommendation based on discussions with internal departments would still be that it be denied because of some of the policy within the municipal development plan. It could be argued the other way, but that would have to be what administration would say.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Johnson. You had a question?
Yeah, sorry, I got sidetracked. So you are not looking at going at the west half strictly because of it would be additional funds, like just splitting it right down the middle and say, I'll take the west half, Dad gets the east half. That's strictly based on the amount you'd have to borrow. It just would be, it'd be simpler, but is that your reasoning?
For the most part, as well as the well site, right? It would, so typically when you sell a well, it's 3 years of the income, so that would be substantial. And so yes, funds altogether would make it just an additional 50,000 or whatever it would.
And Maria.
In addition to that, there are well sites on this corner as well, and that's why this lane remains access, because that is the surveyed access to those wells. So there are wells on both the corners.
Councillor Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, it's your property. If I can't see a reason not to go ahead with the split, even though I don't think it's just maybe the wisest thing to do.
What option are you moving, Councillor Johnson?
The full split. Option 1. Or 2, sorry.
Option 2? Is that right? That's the recommended option, option 2. Maria?
I apologize. There's an error in the recommended option is, option 2. You're correct.
Yes.
I believe what Councillor Johnson is proposing is option 1.
Councillor Johnson on the left.
Could I clarify, Councillor Johnson? The dry corner on the east, what are you saying with that? That gets split off or that stays? Because I think that's a big sticking point, whether or not that goes with the west or stays. I can't remember what it was supposed to go with. Maria, can you clarify where it was supposed to go?
The recommended condition is that this property line be altered to include this northwest corner with the proposed agricultural subdivision so that there is no disconnect between this parcel and this parcel.
And that recommendation is based on policy. Correct. Just want to drive that home. So by passing this motion that Councillor Johnson on the right is proposing, we would be going against policy.
Why would you be going against policy?
I'll let Maria explain it again.
If the motion is to approve this agricultural subdivision, including this corner, then I think MPC could say that that there is still a contiguous area of agricultural land. You could also look at it that this subdivision, the agricultural subdivision in its entirety, is not maintaining the contiguous area of land. So I guess it could be interpreted how you see fit. Because it is split, it is a shared pivot. There is a chance in the future, should there be two different landowners, that pivot can no longer service both parcels. However, there may be an opportunity to add additional irrigation systems to continue that irrigation. Should it be square, it would be a lot more manageable and more options would be available for that.
Okay, thank you. And I just want to make it clear to our guests that we are planning for the future, far down the road, right? We're trying to avoid any pitfalls, any messes that we leave for the next council and 10 councils away. So this is why the discussion goes on so long. Councillor Dirksen.
Just a question for clarification. I understand the motion to be to approve option 1 with conditions, right? And one of the conditions is that the northeast corner be included with the agriculture parcel. So that isn't the applicant's first choice, but I think they've agreed that they could live with that if council could agree to that. Is that just so that we understand that clearly, right? Am I, Maria, that's the way you see that as well, right?
That's correct. That is a recommended condition should MPC consider proposing this.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I'm in favor of that. I agree with that, yeah.
Councillor Johnson and then Cobb.
Although I see the point about going against some policy, I think this is one that we could look at differently because it is looking forward for agriculture. We're trying to help a younger farmer go forward, and I think that's a reason to go with Councillor Johnson's motion.
Councillor Cobb.
So just to clarify for me, this to do recommendation 1 is going against policy because of why exactly. I thought that 1 makes that stay together. Is that not right?
Maria?
Option 1 with conditions would mean that council approves the MPC approves the residential subdivision as well as the agricultural subdivision, provided that this property line changes so that it includes that whole corner. That makes it easier to support that high quality agricultural land should be protected. However, it still means that should things change in the future and there's 2 different owners and that pivot cannot go a full circle, then it could be argued that it's not protected for irrigation purposes. The other side of that is that the pivot point is on one side of the line. So additional irrigation could be installed at a time in the future if required. So I guess that's the 2 sides.
Councillor Johnson, and then Tuart.
So that goes right back to what I said about agreements before. Like, can that not be on the title that no matter whether it gets sold or not, the irrigation will continue, right? Like, you have to have agreements for water. Like, they've done that for years. I don't understand why this would be an issue to not just have that on title and we've covered our basis.
Maria?
That could be an additional condition that is placed on the approval, and then the applicants can work with a lawyer and find a solution that way that the subdivision authority, which would be myself, I guess, would deem acceptable before finalization.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure we're breaking policy here, but the only people that are taking a risk here is these guys. It's a family thing. They want to split it up. They're taking a chance that the next 20 years is going to go the way you're hoping. And I think it's their business, and we should do everything we can to promote them.
Councillor Dirksen?
Yeah, thank you. I don't think we need to concern ourselves about the irrigation. That's a matter that affects the land values and the individual owners who go in with their eyes wide open, and if it were ever to sell or the unforeseen happen, those details get taken care of, then we don't need to concern ourselves with that. I'm also all about accommodating young families and giving them opportunities to get started where they can, and I think this does that. I think option 1 is a good one because I do think the northeast corner being a remnant parcel potentially causes problems in the future. So if everyone can live with option 1, I realize it isn't the applicant's first choice, but I think it deals with the realities that the Planning Commission has to deal with too. So appreciate you coming in, and I would encourage MPC to.
We do have a motion.
Yes, we do.
Yes, for option 1.
Support the motion.
Yep, thank you. Councillor Screever, anything to add?
Yeah, this is a bit of a confusing one, and I understand all the discussion that's going on here. I was in favor of the option 2 to begin with. Now, after hearing all of the rebuttal, I think option 1 is viable. I only have a concern once if it ever happens that the parcels get subdivided and there's different owners, whether those agreements would be in place, but the value of the land is based on the irrigation, so that'll happen. So I think option 1 is applicable.
Mr. Platt.
So just to let everyone know, there is a riser for the pivot is at the pivot point. There's also one on the east side. So there is access to irrigation on both sides. So shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Thank you. We do have a motion. Are there any further comments, concerns? Ready for the question? All right. All in favor of Councillor Johnson's motion to approve option 1, please indicate. That is carried. Great. Thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. You really helped
Thank you
us
very
through
much.
this difficult conversation. We wish you all the best. Mhm. You are aware of?
Nothing from planning and development at this time.
Okay. Anything else from MPC? There were no post-agenda items. Any reason for in-camera conversation? Seeing no hands. Any questions in the queue, Catherine? None? We will adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Call this meeting to order, the October 30th first council meeting of a new session for council, and this is the first meeting of the current 9 councillors for the County of Newell. Previously we had 10, and following the election on October the 20th we have 9, and welcome each one of you. We express appreciation to councils that have served in the past and left us with a good legacy to move forward. So welcome to all of you. We'll deal with a few of the early meeting details, and then we'll move to our delegations that are already a little past time, but this that happens sometimes in the first meeting of new council. So we're all here, so we don't need to excuse anyone from the meeting. We have minutes from the October 9th council meeting. Have you had an opportunity to look at that? Are there any errors or omissions, or a motion to approve those minutes as circulated? Councillor Johnson.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes as circulated.
Thank you. All in favor of that motion, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. Call for post-agenda items. I think we have one post-agenda item, that being appointment of, or the...
Discussion, RMA Zone 1
representation. Directors, yes. So we'll add that as a post-agenda item. Are there any other post-agenda items? Councillor Neil Johnson, go ahead.
This is my own personal opinion, but being that petition got 450,000 signatures, I'm wondering if it would be a good time for this council to write a letter, whatever, to our MLA, suggesting that the government act as quickly as they can to push that, get that referendum done, and put all this separatist jargon to rest once and for all.
You want to add that as a post-agenda item?
If you guys are interested in it, I certainly do.
Okay, it'll be a post-agenda item and we can deal with it at the time. Thank you for that. Are there any other post-agenda items? Seeing none, a motion to approve the agenda as altered. Councillor Christman makes that motion. All in favor, please indicate. Okay, that is carried. Questions or notices of motion? Does anyone have a notice of motion? Are there any questions in the electronic sphere? Seeing none, we'll move on. And I think this being the first meeting of a new council, I'm going to suggest that we introduce ourselves, and I would invite Sergeant Harms to come join us, and Sergeant Schmidt as well. And then we'll have some. Let's introduce ourselves, and then we'll. Thank you for your patience in being a little late getting started here, but go ahead, Councillor Johnson.
Morning, guys. I'm Neil, Division 7.
Morning, Adina Scandrip, Division 2, and great neighbor to Officer Schmidt.
Morning, Ben Hofer, Division 8, Duchess.
Welcome, Greg Screever, Division 5, south of Brooks and Lake Newell Resort.
Morning, Kelly Christman, Division 6, the northwest side of the county. Nothing out there.
Good morning and welcome again. I'm Arno Dirksen, Division 9, the GEM area, as well as since October the 20th, the countryside around the village of Rosemary. I'm absolutely pleased and proud to be the representative. I've always enjoyed that, so I look forward to the future. Go ahead.
Your accent.
Welcome, Matt Fensky, CAO.
Holly Johnson from the newly expanded Division 4, now encompassing the areas of Scandia, Rainier, Bow City, Castles, and Antelope Creek.
Good morning, Dan Baumgarten, Division 1, Rolling Hills.
Good morning, Lynette Kopp, Division 3, Patricia area.
Ariana Nielsen, Executive Assistant.
Catherine Siaklet, Communications Officer.
Sandra Stanway, Brooks Bulletin.
Allow me to start things off from our end.
The first thing we want to do is congratulate everybody that's in the room here. We're fresh off elections, and that's a huge feat, and we just want to congratulate everybody again for being in here. So my name is Staff Sergeant Rob Harms. I'll do a bit of an introduction before I get into our agenda, because we do have some new faces in here. I'm in charge of the Brooks Detachment, and the Brooks Detachment services obviously the city of Brooks and the surrounding county areas. A little bit about our detachment. We have 28 funded positions for frontline officers. Of those positions, 6 fall under the provincial policing service agreement. And in addition to those 6 officers, we have 2 provincial support staff that operate in the detachment. Now, with that said, we operate in what's called, there's different models and different ways to operate detachments. We operate in what's called a post-model sort of deal. And what that is really it's an amalgamation of both our provincial members and our municipal members. And really we become all one, servicing both the city and the outlying areas. So in our detachment, we have most of the officers are general duty officers. We do have a crime reduction unit, which is a plainclothes section. We have a community unit that really helps us with the PR side, the visibility side, and education side of policing. And we have a school resource officer. So just a bit of a snapshot on the Brooks Detachment. As far as calls, we do about 6,000 calls per year. That includes both within the city and outside the city. So so that's just a bit of a snapshot on the Brooks Detachment. Do you want to do an introduction of yourself, Joe, and your detachment before we go on?
For sure. Thanks, Rob. Congratulations to everyone, as Staff Sergeant Harms had said. I'm Sergeant Joe Schmidt. I look after Bassano Detachment, covering Bassano, Hussar, Rosemary, pretty much Gem, all kind of that surrounding area. We have 5 members. It's a sergeant detachment, so there's myself as the commander, and then I have 4 constables. And finally, new arrived, I have 1 public service employee. I had a long-standing one retire this summer, which let me do it for the last 3 months. And so I have my new one with 25 years experience fixing all my errors. So she'll be busy till Christmas. But yeah, we serve that area. We run about 800 to 900 calls per year. Largely, a lot of them is Highway 1 driving investigations. We work hand in hand and kind of with Brooks Detachment right now. Bassano went through some ebbs and flows over the last couple of years, about a year ago, where Brooks really gave us a big hand, and we've been kind of keeping that model going in Bassano, where we're allowing like 24/7 coverage. We've seen big dividends on that and growth for our members in different investigations. So yeah, we look after that end of it and kind of work together all the time. So it's been working good so far. So I'll let Staff Sergeant Harms go through the Brooks report.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, so, and a key piece to that is very much what Joe said, is we work hand in hand, and sometimes it's almost as though we're one unit. That's not quite the case, but each detachment, can have a variance in detachment models, and we have a really good effective model. And that's why often you see Joe and I shoulder to shoulder, because the detachments are so tightly intertwined, sort of thing. Works really, really well. With respect to the my policing report, so I'm going to make reference to the Brooks policing report right now. It's a fairly standard template that we've been using from meeting to meeting. What I've done for this report is I've captured the statistics or kind of some highlights from July, August, and September. And for the most part, my report is very specific to rural activity only, so rural policing, excluding what happens in the city. With that said, the first part talks about our general duties, and I've laid out basically our calls for service, patrols, criminal record checks, and so on. And I've summarized and totaled them at the bottom of that section. So 506 calls for service in the last 3 months. Over 1,100 rural patrols were made. We've had 110 people come into the detachment for criminal record checks, and our general duty officers have written 157 violation tickets in their travels, so to speak. So just kind of summarize, gives you a snapshot of some of our activity. The next section talks about community policing, and if I'm going too fast, if there's any questions, please let me know. Again, summarize that into the last 3 months, and when I look at the compiled results, we've done 59 media releases, 5 public presentations, and officers have attended 21 different public engagements. Now, a lot of those stats and spearheading those stats and those initiatives comes from our Safe Communities unit, which operates within the detachment. And perhaps at one council meeting, I'll talk specifically about that unit and what they do, but it's a unit that's very effective for us and very much in need for sure. The next section of my report just talks about staffing levels. In a nutshell, again, the Brooks Detachment has 6 provincial positions in the detachment. Those 6 positions are full. We're at full staff there. The 2 admin positions are also full, so I'm happy to report that. With that said, we do get some staffing activity from time to time, being members transferring out, members transferring in. And the Brooks Detachment has seen 3 new members here just in the last couple months. One being Constable Scott LaChance, who's the new school resource officer. And he now is here and he's dedicated to the schools and working in the schools. We have 2 new general duty members, Constable Day and Constable Lee. They're brand new out of training and they are currently on the front lines in that training capacity. All of them great members, great additions to the detachment, and I'm quite certain that you will see them from time to time. I've highlighted some significant incidents, and I tend to do that on our reports, and I think Joe does as well. By no means are they all the incidents, and I thought they were noteworthy for highlighting for various reasons. The first one is I kind of summarized the Brooks Detachment activity on August 20th when the supercell storm hit the area. We've had a lot of questions about how that affected policing and so on. So I just kind of had a bit of a breakdown there. We had 12 storm-related calls or occurrences. That's in addition to the day-to-day calls that are unfolding. And because of that, we actually wound up calling several police officers that were off duty back onto duty. And one of the questions I get was, well, were you guys overwhelmed? How did that look? How did you guys handle that? Short answer on that is we handled it very, very well. We're set up to deal with surge activities and surge calls. And in fact, this might be just one, shall we say, elevated level of maybe several that could happen. And we have different ways of responding to those. We didn't have to rely on any outside resources, outside detachments or anything like that. So we dealt with it quite nicely with internal resources. I have a breakdown of those calls listed there. I don't think I'll go through those, but if there's any questions afterwards, I would be happy to answer those. Moving on, I've got a point in there about check stops. The only reason I threw that in there, I can't say enough about the value of the check stops that we hold. We've now added it to our detachment priorities and initiatives to help us with traffic safety. A key part of our check stops is partners, including the county peace officers, the city peace officers, and so on. And here you can see from this one check stop on September 9th, one impaired driver removed from the road right there. That's worth our time and efforts. But as well, 6 tickets were written for no registration, 4 tickets for insurance issues, and multiple warnings and so on. One of the other calls I've highlighted on my report is point number 3. It's regarding an individual that was uttering threats and had a baseball bat in Tilly, and definitely it gathered some attention in Tilly. And basically, there was an individual inside the bar at Tilly, and there was some kind of dispute. He had left and he'd returned with a baseball bat. And obviously, some emotions come into play, but a weapon comes into play as well. Wisely, he was locked out of the bar and the police were called. We attended. He had departed the area, but we found him in fairly short order arrested him and charged him. So that was dealt with, and that appears to be, that whole matter appears to have died down and be dealt with. So that's good news. One of the trends we're seeing is collisions on the highway. I've listed a couple there. I don't think I'm going to go into details there, but it is a trend that we were starting to get concerned with, as we just seen a number of collisions, including in the rural areas. That trend seems to be coming down right now, so we're thankful for that. With the winter season coming up and the snow and you know, likely the ice on the roads, we're just asking motorists to be mindful of that, be prepared for the cold season coming up, make sure you have the right tires on your vehicles, you know, practice that defensive driving. And there may be even times when it may be safer to stay home than be on the roads and so on. So again, I'm not going to go through those details, but would be happy to answer questions afterwards, if any, on those. Some of the other trends that I see when I look at our statistics, we've had a bit of an uptick with thefts, some mischiefs, and even more recently, some break and enters in the communities, including in the rural areas. Thefts range from the odd pivot theft. For the most part, that seems to have decreased, but there's still the odd one. Copper thefts at oil sites, thefts from vehicles, theft of license plates, and so on. Now, in response to that, the one thing I want this council to know, and any viewers that are watching this meeting, when we see trends develop, we respond to those, I think, proportionately and accordingly. And that is what we did when we seen these property crimes kind of spike. And so most recently, for example, on October 7th, our crime reduction unit, which is our plainclothes unit, launched an initiative with uniformed members and involved a bunch of different techniques, some of them covert and so on. But they arrested 2 people in their initiative, plus put warrants out for a 3rd person that were committing these offenses. Now, one might say, well, that's only 3 people. Well, it's not uncommon for us to be dealing with the same people over and over, repeat offenders. And in fact, one of the terms I use is we spend 90% of our time on 10% of the people sometimes. So when we remove 3 people and charge 3 people for property offenses, it is fairly significant. Unfortunately, the crime still continued after that operation. So we launched another operation which was significantly larger. And again, it involved our crime reduction unit. It involved our district crime reduction unit. It involved our patrol members. It involved our police dog services. And we even used our air services unit that launches and oversees our drone program. And again, using different techniques, we were able to arrest 4 additional people for property crimes. So we're quite happy with that. And I think we're seeing some positive results since those arrests. Time will tell how much that's impacted the property crime and so on. But my message there is if we see something developing, a trend, we will definitely deal with it and hold people accountable. So that's kind of my message there. Just wrapping up the report, I have a couple new initiatives I want to talk about. One being Coffee with a Cop. We have rolled this out. It is very common in Alberta and probably in policing across Canada. And basically, we invite the public to come meet us at a coffee shop or a venue and open up some dialogue. And that can be to answer questions, to address concerns, and so on. We've had one September 11th in Brooks, September 19th at the Brooks High School, October 21st in Dutchess, and we've actually got more planned. Great platform, great response from the public. Several rural residences have attended those sessions, and just a great platform for having open discussion and so on. So we're going to continue that. We have another new initiative rolling out. It's Youth Criminal Justice Committee. We're at the very early stages of this, but we're just looking at some alternatives in how we deal with youth. Sometimes it might not be in our best interest to lay a charge on a youth. There might be other alternatives to that, which would involve the Youth Criminal Justice Committee. So again, we're in the early stages of that, and there'll be more information coming out in that in short order. Point number 4, I think this point's very noteworthy. On September 16th, we, along with several other agencies, I believe there were 6 agencies in total, held an emergency operations drill on Lake Newell, basically with marine search and rescue. And I'm not sure if the fire department has reported on this yet, but a great exercise, a great drill, and a great training opportunity. Again, 6 agencies, 15 different assets on the lake and involved with that, and 9 different scenarios that were addressed during that operation. And my last and final point is you will notice that Joe and I are actually wearing dark blue shirts today. Over the past many, many years, it's been a light gray shirt that we've been wearing. The RCMP has announced and has gone forth with a slight change in our uniforms, and that being that we're converting from the light gray shirts to the dark blue shirts. These shirts are not quite exact as to what all the members will be getting. There's some upgrades on the newest shirts, but for the most part, you will see that members will appear as we appeared today. So it's something that's been in the works for a long time, and there's a whole bunch of reasons for it, including officer safety issues at night, obviously optics and appearance and so on. But you will see our officers in dark blue as time goes on. So just wanted to point that out. Is there any questions on my my report?
Thank you. Thanks. Go ahead.
I was just wondering, when you were talking about you utilized your air services, do they land at the Brooks Municipal Airport?
So what I'm talking about with air services is actually our drone program. So we didn't actually have full aircraft involved, but I can tell you that we did have drone operators and drones, and so they don't use the airport for that. And the beauty of that is just that, right, is they don't need airports and stuff like that.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Johnson.
When you talk about the increase in accidents, do you know if it's a result of texting, inattention, under the influence? Do we have a reason, or is it just, you don't know?
Well, I can, like one of the examples in the minutes there was a cyclist on Highway 1 wearing dark clothing, riding at night with no lights, no reflectors. In my opinion, that's a bad decision to start with, and I think most people would be able to kind of guesstimate what the outcome of that's going to be. Thank goodness that individual is alive. I don't know that I'm seeing any of the trends that you're talking about, although it's probably involved from time to time. I can tell you we've had 1 fatal collision because of a vehicle not stopping at a stop sign. And I think, you know, if I thought back more, I think stop sign violations and intersection safety probably comes into play with a lot of those collisions. And, you know, when our officers are out enforcing traffic safety laws such as intersection safety and you know, yield signs and stop signs, that is why we're doing it, right? Because they're a high collision area and so on. So I don't think there's any one big trend that's standing out, but that would definitely be, you know, one of the points.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
As you say that, I would have to agree. I have seen a lot of people just not paying enough attention, running stop signs or at corners. You're right. That is a growing problem, I do believe.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Seeing no more questions, you'll stay well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Schmidt. Yeah, thank you for the good work you do, but there might be some questions that surface later yet. Go ahead.
You betcha. Thank you very much. So this is the Bassano report, and like I say, Rob and I kind of keep our reports fairly similar just for consistency. I don't have a lot of the fancy Gucci files that Brooke seems to get, but you know, we do what we can in Bassano. Through the same quarter period of July to September, we received 208 calls for service, issued 48 violation tickets, and 41 criminal record checks. Throughout that time, for our community policing initiative, we took part in like Rosemary Parade with the Premier, Canada Day, the Bassano Rodeos parade. We did that because it was postponed due to weather. And did a lot of fraud prevention, which is one constant uptick and rising concern in every jurisdiction, is the online frauds and that sort of stuff. And they generally target a lot of the senior demographics. So we were doing presentations at the senior lodge and in the senior communities. We kind of stole an idea kind of from the safe communities that Rob brought in his previous experience and putting them up in Bassano and the surrounding areas of stop signs where gift cards are sold to prevent, to alert the staff and the customers if you did see a vulnerable person approaching a till. It's not very common to see an elderly person walk up with $3,000 or $4,000 worth of iTunes cards for no apparent reason. And we get phone calls then from the staff of, this is a suspicious thing. And we go down there and we're able to deal with that matter. So that's a great little campaign. Then kind of focusing throughout into August, obviously with schools coming back, we roll into, meeting with the schools, coming up with our emergency plans, our school plans, that sort of thing. Files of note wise, kind of one significant one that turned into a little bit more of a community thing is in early July, we had Bassano Fire responding to a structure fire in a trailer park. While the fire department was on scene, there was a male who was a neighboring resident of that complex acting erratically and actually started hindering the firefighters' efforts, messing with their equipment, this sort of stuff. We responded to the call, they called it in. We were able to get the male into custody, but prior to that, while we were attending, he assaulted one of the firefighters with a fire extinguisher. So he put up some resistance. We resisted back harder, got him in custody. And was able to hold him, bring him back to Brooks cells, and we held him there where court released him on some conditions. Noting that with fire, and this known individual for the 3 or 4 fires that we've had to previously this year in Bassano, this male seems to be, that of like a moth, and he's drawn to a flame where he'll come and hinder efforts and stuff. So we met with fire to see how we could mitigate some of these problems beforehand with this person, because like I say, it's a revolving door sometimes where we're dealing with these same individuals. And now we've met with fire and where they're going to phone and notify us on any structure fire, any call they get within the municipality of Bassano, so that we can have members in place or closer en route. We can always be stood down along the way if it's nothing. However, if this individual or any other hazards come up, we'd sooner know than not know and be reacting to it. So that was kind of a nice initiative. And in that debriefing with fire, we kind of went over some of the tactics and methods that they could use to protect themselves and their equipment while they're on scene of an emergency circumstancing, trying to preserve life and property for our surrounding residents. There's probably some misnomers. They didn't know that maybe they could use a little bit more force and tactics than they previously thought. So it was a very good meeting out of that. Into September, Bassano finally has body cameras now. Probably not to the applaud of my career, but whatever. We're getting used to them. They're a very useful tool for us in recalling just events and court disclosures and public complaints and that sort of stuff. It's actually been, despite my first thoughts, a very useful tool. So you'll see Bassano members walking around with their cameras now as well. As far as staffing goes, like I say, we have 5 members. I'm happy to say all 5 members are fully staffed. We had a shortfall with our public service detachment assistant, which it did impact the office hours. I could only do so much and be there so often. And if there was a call for service, sometimes I had to go. We're able to mitigate it, and I want to thank the community for understanding that. They're very patient. We worked with them, and I'd be bringing stuff to Brooks for them and running things around, and they're very patient, and it didn't seem to have a large impact, but I want that out there to thank them for their patience in that. Now we have, it's Cheryl Anderson. She's a public service employee. She came from BC after 25 years. She wanted to be closer to her grandkids. She's just learning some of the systems because ours is a little bit different than, say, the data systems BC uses. But her wealth of experience is awesome. She bought a place in Bassano. She's living her best life. So it's very good to have her there, and she keeps me in line. So that's very good. I won't go through all the files in the same way as Rob did too. They're there for you. Some of the significant ones of note we noticed throughout the summer was motor vehicle collisions in our area too. One that sticks out was on Highway 1. We had a bicyclist riding his bike on Highway 1, and he collided with a car on Highway 1 because he was impaired on the bicycle. At night, it was dark. He ran into there. Luckily, somehow everybody really walked away with minor injuries out of that one. The biggest trend we've noticed out of it is other than that one, impairment aside, was just driver distractions, drivers not paying attention. We had, a hay bale or a round baler going down the road being towed by pickup, flashers on, everything there. Person just not paying attention and struck that round baler, causing minor injury to those people. The other one we've noticed kind of county rural-wide is striking deer. We had 5 deer and a moose hit in that time. So that was kind of abnormal to have that rise in it. And they're all over the place, and it's not like a fencing issue or a wildlife crossing issue. It was kind of all over the map, but significant injuries to everyone, significant damage, but no large injuries. I mean, a moose coming through the window can pretty much be fatal most times, but luckily that hasn't been the case. Going through kind of our crime trends, we had a huge significant drop in property crime. Unlike some of the areas, we find in the rural settings of like Bassano, it's very transient, the crime. It's usually 1 or 2 groups that will target a specific area. We saw that spike in pivot theft and wire theft early in the spring. Did a bunch of mitigation efforts with a lot of the local farmers, found out some of the safeguards for being able to have GPS and alerts on their pivots as soon as wire theft comes. Ones that were largely on there that were kind of unknown. Through that investigation, kind of a collaborative effort with our district, there was one main person doing it. We were able to arrest that person, have charges on him. He was released, but a significant drop in that copper theft in our area. Same as theft of vehicles. Bassano had a huge amount of stolen vehicles in a 1 or 2 month span. It was largely attributed to a ring near Calgary and the Galician area. Those men were all brought into custody, 1 female, since been released, but we haven't had 1 theft prior to that. So it's a double-edged sword where we don't want the thefts to happen, but we're glad that we're able to act quickly, identify who they are, and kind of maybe not solve the problem, but it certainly moves it out of the area somewhere else. So persons crimes were down as well. Like the largest increase for us, like I say, was motor vehicle collisions. No identifiable thing as far as impairment goes, just more animals and not paying attention. So I'd be happy to ask any questions or answer any questions you'd have.
Thank you for that. Are there any specific questions? Go ahead, Councillor Johnson.
2 questions for you. When that RV went through the fence, did you make sure the fence got fixed? The landowner knew that there was a hole in his fence? I'm always worried about cattle on roads.
Absolutely. A lot of times it's hard identifying, who the landowner is. I have all the guys now on a iHunter app.
Excellent.
Which loads everybody's property. And generally, if you can find the landowner of that site, if he don't know, he's certainly going to know who his neighbor is, that sort of thing, and they can point us in the direction. With that file there, it was a blown tire on that RV, sending them kind of careening off. And that's our first thing right away, is fix that fence to prevent the cattle coming out, because that'll be our next call for sure. So that was done, I think, took us about 12 hours to find the owner, but we let them know.
Excellent. Secondly, are you hearing anything with Mark Carney is talking about bail reforms? Are you hearing anything that it might be going in a positive direction, or is it just chatter at this point?
It's until it's really the bill's kind of legislated and set in motion, we're, hopefully optimistic with it. I'll be honest, I'm not going to sit here and hold my breath on it either. The mandatory sentencing is supposed to be increased. The bail reforms, what their thresholds are, may be a little bit different than, say, our particular areas, where they're, going after the organized crime, the use of weapons in crimes, that sort of stuff. Whereas our kind of the trends we see of our repeat offenders, it's low-level kind of drug trade, property crimes, that sort of stuff. So I don't know how significant the impact would be on us. I know at a provincial level, they're able to, for their remanding and their probationary things, they're able to maybe hold down a larger hammer than they strike with now. So that's something that we're trying to push with as well too, something that we could do more secular in our areas, to be able to hold those offenders a little bit more accountable and to remand and that sort of stuff. That's very much what we're pushing as well, kind of on a provincial level, that we can see an immediate impact.
Great, thank you. Go ahead.
Just a comment, but just would assume that when a 911 call comes in for a fire, that RCMP would automatically be dispersed. So I was kind of surprised to hear that, so.
I'll be honest, most of all my previous experience was in the Lower Mainland. And when any structure fire, any kind of call comes into fire, RCMP would get a parallel dispatch of that. That isn't the case here, where if it's like a structure fire, there's nothing emergent for as far as a police end of it. Just fire and EMS get that dispatch, not a parallel one to us, which I kind of found surprising. So now, speaking with fire, I'm like, you guys get that call, you all have my number, shoot me a text or, phone us right away, make sure we're en route. Because, if we have such a large landmass that, 20 minutes away is not very far away still. But that's a long time, especially when they're struggling on the ground with a person like this. Or if we have to be able to assist with traffic shutdowns, any sort of evacuations, and then to be able to identify if there's a criminal element. Is this a structure fire caused by electrical, or is there some sort of arson thing? We'd sooner know than not know, and it's a lot easier to be there than to have to react. So that's kind of what we push forward for that end of it.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Christman.
Sergeant Joe, do we have our cells? Are we not using them anymore? Are they?
Our Bassano cells aren't being used. We don't have any guards. We don't have anybody applying for the guards. So they are retrofitted, and we just don't have anybody applying or any resources to guard them. So we bring them all back to Brooks to where they generally, Brooks mostly has somebody in there all the time anyways, and they have a guard on duty. If for some reason we weren't able to have a guard in Brooks or bring them there, then we'd bring them to Gleason. It's just, we just don't have any commissioners kind of in the area. And for the infrequency of what we do hold them, it's hard to keep them.
To keep the commissioners.
Yeah, because there's security clearances, the training and stuff, and the upkeep for them. So.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions? Seeing none, thanks a lot again for coming in today. We certainly appreciate the updates, and the updates that you send from time to time on a monthly basis is appreciated, or if there are urgent concerns or something like that, we appreciate the good work you do in our community and can't thank you enough. I think that with the storm that we saw earlier this fall, certainly outcomes could have been a lot worse than they were. It was good to see that there wasn't too many injuries to persons, and that's thanks to the good work you did or assisted to make sure that things were orderly, and we appreciate the good work you do on a daily basis and appreciate your partnership with us on that. So thank you very much for coming in today again, and we'll look forward to next time as well.
Thank you very much, and it's our pleasure, so yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, I am going to ask for a motion that we move. We're a little late for a public hearing, but I'm going to ask for a motion to move into a public hearing. Councillor Christman, all in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Okay, public hearings are an opportunity for us to hear from the public on specific bylaws that are being proposed. And in this case, it's bylaw 2108-25, the land use bylaw for text amendment for freestanding solar. So I'll invite Maria to give us the background there, please.
Thank you very much. The purpose of this bylaw is to update the land use bylaw to include and amend policy for solar freestanding, as well as to include updates to setbacks to subdivision roads in all of the land use districts. So the recommendation is option 1, that should no objections be heard at the public hearing, that second and third reading be given to this bylaw to update as indicated in Schedule A attached. Some relevant direction, I guess, historical information. In 2025, MPC has approved 11 development permits for solar freestanding developments that were larger than the requirement, making them a discretionary use. Of these 11 permits, only 3 required a variance to the setback. So what that means is that they followed all the policy in the land use bylaw. However, the size made them automatically discretionary, and then they had to be circulated to adjacent landowners, required referrals, timelines are increased, and every single time they were approved by MPC. So administration is recommending that the allowable size of freestanding solar installations be increased to better align with the scale of development that is currently occurring within the county. It is administration's view that the potential impact onto neighboring properties of a freestanding solar installation is comparable to other forms of development on a parcel of land. Accordingly, we are proposing that the maximum permitted size be consistent with the maximum size of an accessory building permitted within that land use district. So where all required setbacks can be satisfied, a freestanding solar development of up to 930 square meters could be considered a permitted use. So if the setbacks or policy cannot be met, then the proposal would be treated as a discretionary use and circulated to adjacent landowners and relevant internal departments. So we are also recommending an update to the setback to a subdivision road. So in some districts, such as business rural district, there is no distinction between an internal subdivision road or a higher traffic township or range road. This greatly reduces the developable land in a business subdivision such as Jackson Light Industrial or the Martin subdivision, where the setback is currently 30 meters from that subdivision road. As a comparison, the setback from a subdivision road in a residential rural district such as Westland Acres is 6 meters from the property line. This was circulated and there were no concerns raised from adjacent landowners, any of our municipal neighbors or referral agencies, and there were no comments or concerns from internal departments. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Seeing no one from the public attending today to speak in person, is there any response electronically, Catherine? Hearing none, you know that we passed first reading earlier on for information. We could move out of the public hearing if Councillor Johnson makes that motion. All in favor that we move out of public hearing, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. And with that, thank you, Maria. I'm going to suggest that we move to item 8.1 and 8.1.1 is second reading for Bylaw 2108-25. Is there someone, prepared to, Councillor Skanderup makes that motion?
Yes, I make that motion.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion, please indicate. That is carried. And similarly, motion for third reading for Bylaw 2108-25. Who's prepared to make that motion? Councillor Chrisman. All in favor that we move third reading, please indicate. That is carried as well. It being 5 to 12, let's just continue on to 8.2. Is that, we got time for that? Okay, thank you. Shannon, please.
Thanks. I'm presenting an amendment to the local improvement bylaw for the Lake Newell Pathway project. This project paved a pathway to establish a connection between the hamlet of Lake Newell Resort and Kimbrough Connection Pathway. There has been a consolidation of parcels which reduced the parcel count by 1. The MGA states that the local improvement tax must be revised for future years when that happens. Administration is recommending 3 readings today.
Okay, thank you. Shannon, are there questions? Fairly routine situation. Is someone prepared to move first reading? Go ahead, Lynette, or a question.
Yeah, I had a question. So we're doing first reading?
We will do
Right.
first and second reading
Okay,
potentially,
but
and then we'll
did
have to
we-
have consent for third reading.
Did we already do first reading when it was the other amount of properties? Is that right?
Yeah, thank you. Matt, go ahead.
Yeah, for council's information, this is one of the joys of having local improvement taxes is whenever there's a subdivision or a consolidation, we are obligated to revisit our bylaw. So in this case, landowner has consolidated, the math has changed, and we must update the bylaw. So it's a bit of housekeeping. Get the numbers right.
Yeah, good question. Okay, go ahead.
Then I'll make motion for first reading.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Similarly, a motion for second reading. Councillor Holly Johnson makes that motion. All in favor, please indicate. Okay, that is carried. Thank you. And then as per standard procedures, if a third reading is to happen all in one meeting, there needs to be consent for third reading. So does someone make that motion? Councillor Chrisman? All in favor of that we consent for third reading? That is carried. Thank you. Yeah, that's, okay, now someone make a motion that we approve third reading. Councillor Baumgarten? Thank you for that. All in favor, please indicate. That too is carried. Thank you. And it is very close to 12 o'clock, so I'm going to suggest that we break for lunch. I believe there's some photos that are going to be taken immediately after lunch when certain of our desires are satisfied. And I'm our background and our interest in the future of the county for the current term. I think that's a good opportunity for the public to have an opportunity to hear from us and to meet both our new councillors, but each one of us as well. So think about that a little bit, and we'll take some time. I think this meeting has gone a little longer at the start than some do, but I think that's convene this meeting. I think we're up to 10.1, right?
Yes.
Administrative business. Alberta Municipalities Convention, November 12th to the 14th. We are still meeting on the 12th and the 13th, aren't we?
The 13th, yeah.
Committee of the Whole meeting on the 12th?
Committee of the Whole shifted to the, sorry. Yeah, through the chair, Committee of the Whole and Budget Review is November 26th. We are scheduled to have a council meeting on the 13th, MPC and council. So you'd have a couple of members absent on the 13th.
Okay, go ahead, Kelly.
Is this
Councillor
in Calgary or Edmonton?
Calgary.
Right.
Was there 2 days? Just the 26th? What was the other?
Just the 26th, we have budget and Committee of the Whole.
Oh, okay. Oh, and CO. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. And we have a council meeting on the 13th. So what is your pleasure? Do we want to send one or two people to the Alberta Municipalities Convention in Calgary from the 12th to the 14th? We have a meeting on the 13th, the council meeting. The next week. Yeah.
Maybe. Who can go?
What's your pleasure? I mean, possibility it could maybe go up for part of the 12th, even if you don't go for the whole thing, just go up there for a while. Maybe on the, let's look at the schedule. I'd be interested maybe in just driving up for part of it, but I don't want to miss the council meeting, I don't think. Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, I'd go up for like an afternoon or something, but I can't do 3 days up there and then 4 days at Edmonton the next week.
No. So what's your pleasure? Registration is the only way of getting in, or can you have a partial registration?
Drop-in fee.
Ariana, go ahead, please. You've got details for us.
All right, thank you. This is in Calgary, correct?
Correct.
So complete registrations are done for 2 individuals following discussion at the August council meeting. There's hotels. I don't know if at this point I can change the registrations. You're registered for 2 days, I guess.
So 2 of us are going.
Yeah.
Well, paid to go. If nobody can make it for the whole time, we fill in or whatever, but what? Yeah, we should go. Who could go? Who do you want to go? Like,
Sorry, 12th.
yes, yeah.
12th to 14th.
12th to 14th. Theoretically, I guess I could go. I just missed the council meeting, but I don't. Yes. No, actually, pardon me, I can't go for the whole time.
Councillor Scandrip can go.
Councillor Scandrup's available? Okay. Anyone else
It'd be good for
able to go?
I can't right now with fall work and stuff with the RMA the next week.
Yeah. Okay, let's go with, pardon me, Neil? Maybe I'll go for a day. Let's just see, let's send Adina and then Councillor Scandrup, and then we'll see it, if it works out for someone else, there's a space available, or can you get a refund on a hotel?
The hotel, probably. I think the cancellation is usually 24 hours beforehand. We might be out of luck for the registration fee.
Yeah. Okay. Councillor Hollies.
Is there anyone who can go for a full day? No one can do the whole thing. What's the next best? Is a day plus or something? Or is there anyone who wants to go for a full day, maybe? Try to split it up?
I could go for at least part of the 12th or maybe part of the 14th, but we can see. Do what we can, I guess, eh? But I think cancel the hotel, yeah. But yours, you keep your hotel room, yeah. Marriott.
I believe it's Calgary Marriott downtown. Not 100% sure.
Yeah,
I have a
that's-
hotel though.
That's what your memo said, yeah. I recall that, so. Okay, we'll move on. Rural Municipalities Convention, November 17th to the 20th. Ariana, which ministers' meetings do we have set up?
Thank you. The only one for sure, Minister of Transportation agreed to a meeting on November 19th.
Have we asked for a meeting with the Minister of Agriculture, but haven't heard back?
Yes, no response from Minister of Agriculture and Irrigation so far. Minister of Transportation is November 19th, 4:40 to 4:55 p.m. And they're looking for the names of who's going to be attending that, and they said a maximum of 5.
Okay. And we have an application in with the Minister of Agriculture, haven't heard back, that'll come. How about, are we meeting with Alberta Environment or we don't need to? Probably don't need to, hey? No, okay. Any other meetings that we need to try to set up?
Sorry, through the chair, Minister of Transportation.
We have that
We have that one set up? Yes. I'm not hearing really well, so I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. Okay. We're good to move on and, yeah. Oh, the other thing I was going to say about RMA, are there other municipalities? We have, from time to time, met with other municipalities up there for dinner one night. Should we try to do that? I think that's a good idea. It's always an opportunity to visit with, and more directly with some of our counterparts, thinking a neighboring municipality potentially. Want to do that? Which ones should we reach out to? Go ahead.
I think the one we haven't met with the longest period of time would be Tabor.
Yeah.
I think we should maybe start with them because I think that was the first 4 years ago we did it, and
yeah,
it might be time to renew things with Tabor.
Okay. Can we reach out through administration? Yeah.
Yeah, so direction to reach out to MD of Tabor for going to supper one night.
Sure.
The Monday or Tuesday. The Wednesday we're with MPE. I've sent you a save the date. We'll lock down the details once those are confirmed.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, that's RMA Councillor payment sheets. Is there anything to comment on there? Or just a motion for acceptance of the councillor payment sheets? Someone make that motion? Councillor Hofer, thank you. Okay, all in favor, please indicate. That is carried, thank you. Requests for function of council. Do we have for functions of council? So just by way of explanation, functions of council is the way that council approves activities or meetings that councillors are sent to and compensated for expenses to attend. Councillor Johnson.
I guess I would like council's thought on the event that happened at your place, Arna, with a delegation from Mongolia that was had some interesting chats through translators. as to how the country of Mongolia works. We learned a lot of interesting things and shared how we do things here. So that was organized off the cuff. So whether it's a function of council or not, I am unsure.
I think it should be. It had value for both sides, I would say, and that group certainly appreciated council members attending. So that was valuable, I thought. Go ahead, Neil.
Yeah, probably along those lines should be okay as long as there's no business connection. And I don't care if there is or not personally, but between you and anybody that was there, then that would, you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I do. I mean, they, I mean, it's not a function of council for me because they came to our place, but for the councillor part of it, it was simply exchanging based on the fact that there was what they call governors attending. And I'm not aware of any business activity. I suppose it's not impossible, but it won't. I'm not sure how to deal with that necessarily. Go ahead, Councillor.
So the way I thought about it, and this was right from the beginning, I thought it was an honor to be invited, first of all, to meet people from out of country anytime, every day, I'll go, to learn their ways. I feel like it should be handled similar to our intermunicipal pancake flipping days where travel and expense would be covered and that we volunteered our time for such a good event. I think that we have to be open to opportunities, whether it's your farm or Neil's farm, wherever we're invited. We shouldn't shy away because it's a member of council's farm or business. Yeah. So that's one way that I think we can cover this. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm open to donating all my time, but I would be in favor of also getting mileage to Gem and back. I think that would be the fairest way to handle this.
Okay, go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, this is where I'm curious as myself as well. My intention is on attending Dutchess Ag Society meetings. So for that, I don't know where the line is drawn on what you do and what you don't, and what you charge for and what you don't charge for. So yeah, I'd like clarity on that as well. So.
Okay, what is our bylaw state? I think mileage, direct expenses are covered for activity that is council related, correct? Go ahead, Matt.
Well, with respect to the hourly per diem, the function of council is really up to council as a whole to decide what you're going to cover. The policy says all other meetings or public appearances approved by council as a function of council for access to the hourly per diem. Yeah, if you want to limit it to just kilometers, you can have that consideration as well. Whatever around the table makes the most sense for you.
Go ahead, Councillor Christman.
I know everybody's thinking about it, and I've had time to think about it, but I'm prepared to make a motion that it be not a full function of council, but that it be a function of council in the sense that we will be able to claim our mileage, our out-of-pocket expense.
Okay, no, that's everybody. Any further discussion? That's a motion. So, all in favor of that, please indicate. Opposed? That's carried. I guess I would look for direction from council with regard to future, like, no one asked that the council, that the county be invited to that, but it was a matter, it came up because we got saw a list of who was attending, and I thought, well, that's a pretty good fit for our council, given the fact that we want to expand our name too. And certainly that it was appreciated, but there was no business interest that initiated that, to be sure. So, Neil, go ahead.
Yeah, well, part of that, the way I understand it, we have to do a few of those things. I want to remind the new guys to keep, as far as flipping pancakes and rodeos and all that, you don't get paid hourly, you just get paid mileage. I already slipped up and got my name in the paper for flipping pancakes one time and charging for it. But that's my only comment.
Thanks, Neil. Go ahead, Councillor.
I think it's kind of situational. I don't think there is a direct answer. Events come up. Sometimes it's a bigger or smaller commitment, and I think we have to play it by ear. But for your information, Councillor Hofer, so anything in your division is covered in your monthly per diem, any business within your division. So if that helps, but yeah, but timesheets are really fun, and you'll learn that and learn what to put down and what not.
And for that, I understand, and it's not my intention. I have no problem volunteering my time either, and I may miss a bunch of council meetings that I should be billing for that I don't. I'm that guy, but it is what it is.
Thanks. Go ahead.
As the compensation committee, we do our best to help you out, right? You forget something, or like you undercharge and everyone else has put in 4 hours and you only put 3. You didn't leave early, we'll change you to 4. Like, that's what the adjustments are. If you look on the agenda, there's some adjustments from the September compensation, and that's the whole job of the compensation review committee, is to police that, right? Yeah, just to make it a level playing field for everyone. So
I think that's particularly good perusal to avoid overcompensating too. I think that's an excellent. I appreciate those eyes on the situation. I do want to say about the situation with the visit with the Mongolians, that, I mean, that was my decision to, I thought it was an opportunity for council to be exposed to some people that you probably otherwise wouldn't have met. And after I met with them the first time, I thought, this is an interesting group. So I think we should be careful not to get too hung up on some of those details, because you can drive yourself, you know, there's, we all need to have a conflict of interest to be here too, because we're invested in this area, so. At some level, yeah. Okay, let's move on. Any other functions of council? Committee reports are available there. Any discussion on any of those? I think that's it. Post agenda items.
Unless there's verbal on your checklist.
Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I've got a list of committee reports here that I failed to look at. Newell Recycling Association.
So we did our shredding events. The last one was in September. So now if you have more things you want shredded, the next event won't be until into March.
Okay.
They do them when the weather's nice. EPR seems to be still kind of an interesting thing, but it seems to have leveled out, and we've actually seen some money coming in for all of that. How it'll play out by October 2026 is another thing, but so far it seems to be pretty good. They have to do a lot more reporting now than what they ever did, right? Keeping track, weighing the bales of cardboard, et cetera, et cetera. So that's it.
Thank you. Any questions? Councillor Chrisman, go ahead.
I just thought I would close the loop on the recycle bins that are placed at Bassano, because the last time I talked about it, it was a bit of a mess, but that has leveled out. The routine has followed through, and people seem to be quite happy. So you can report that back. Not sure what mechanisms they have in place, but it seems to be working. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
I was just going to add to that, what they've started doing is they go out weekly and empty that cardboard. So that's, yeah.
Newell Solid Waste Management Authority, Councillor Johnson, please.
The big announcement there, I just got it a couple days ago, is that Global Green has actually put the order in for the modules from Japan. So that's a pretty exciting development. As far as the landfill itself goes, they made a few $100,000 again last month. All good, but they are worried about the Remedix site at Bassano taking a little bit of income away from them. But other than that, yeah, all great.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none, Brooks Regional Tourism Association, Councillor Scandro.
All right, so we had our meeting and our AGM. The AGM was really well attended. I was quite surprised by that. Just a couple of things. They did a survey on the website. Some of the things that came out from that were that people who visited the area didn't feel Brooks was very clean or beautiful or had many flowers. So that was interesting. Also, all of the campsites reported visitation being down this last summer, so not just Emerson Bridge, but all of them across the board. And another, something that came out of the survey was that they're really disappointed in the Wi-Fi service. Because I guess when people are camping, they still want to be able to do work, and none of our campsites seem to have very good Wi-Fi. So that was another issue. We have several social media spots and lots of clicking going on. So I have this report. I'm just going to put it on the back table if you want to look at it. If you're interested in how many times people click something, whatever, I'll put that back there, and happy to be passing that over to Benjamin next month.
Okay, thank you. Sure, please.
So I went to the Tilly Ag AGM last week. So just a few highlights from there, in case you're wondering. Ice rent for Brooks Minor Hockey and Pond Hockey is $95 an hour. Men's League is $2,900 for the season. And because, and I'll just say, and the Hockey Academy rents it for $50 an hour, and that works out to 4 hours a week, I think is what they go over there for. Because pond hockey usually is on Saturday morning, right now the Ag Society doesn't have any tournaments booked in Tilly. And then they passed a motion to raise the increase for next year of 3%, so that's coming up. And then just I want to say there was some confusion about the rent CRA, and I want to thank Neil and Matt for dealing with that, because they had a misunderstanding. They kept talking about meeting with the rec board, and I knew they hadn't actually met with the rec board, so I'm glad you guys were on that and you got that cleared up. And that's all I have about that.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? One more then is Rosemary Fire. Who's recording that? Go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
I'll just, in keeping with Adina's topic, Bassano Ag Society, we had our grant funding allocation, and that is where I sit as a volunteer. We doled out $22,000, and that is Other than operating the parade and partnering with the Bassano Rodeo Committee, those are our three only functions of that organization. So that's just for your information. Money went to the golf course, the arena, the skating club, the rec complex, which is golf curl bowl facility. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was shared. So Rosemary Fire, last year, 29 calls, 12 medical for out, O-U-T, I'm not sure what that's my shorthand.
Okay.
1 MVC, 2 vehicles, collisions, I don't know, 4 grass fires, 3 mutual aid. Anyway, it all adds up to 29 calls. They have 17 firemen and women, including 3 nurses. They would like to have 20, so there is an opening there for volunteers if anybody knows of anybody. 80% of the personnel have completed level 101 of fire training. They want to get training on an electric car and grain extrication. There is talk of a watercraft for the rural area, and so that you'll hear more about in the near future, I'm sure. You will see an increase in the budget. They want to improve or change their communications system, and so that's going to cost some money. And they also want to, there's a piece of equipment in there as well. So you'll notice when we get our budget that Rosemary Fire, we did approve an increase. That doesn't mean you will, but this committee did. So that's my report on Rosemary Fire.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Seeing none. Oh, the only other thing I'll say, I went to the speech from the throne last week in Edmonton. That was interesting. Met up with the mayor of Coaldale, Jack Van Ryan, Mountain View, REEVE, Alana Albers was there, among other people. Had a quick visit with the agriculture minister and also the environment minister and the associate minister for water, and several others. It was an interesting opportunity, and I traveled up together with Heather Piggott, the Premier's assistant here in Brooks, so it was an interesting opportunity that I thought was well worth the time. So, any questions on anything? If not, I realized that I didn't do what I said I was going to do right after we reconvened after lunch, and that was introduce ourselves to the public through this forum. So I'm going to suggest we do that now, take a few minutes, following which we'll go in camera, I believe.
Post-agenda items.
I'm sorry, first let's do post-agenda items then, yeah. Go ahead.
The first post-agenda item, I will have to defer to Councillor Chrisman, RMA District 1 Director.
So this is becoming a bit of a habit, 2 times a habit, I don't know. But I am asking for your support. I am interested in putting my name forward. The nomination paper has to be handed in by Monday at 4:30 p.m. The position is only available if Jason Schneider is not successful in his bid for vice president. Otherwise, he slides back to his, sorry? Did I reverse it? Okay. So this may be for naught, but I think it's good to get all my experience that I gained in FCM. It shines a light on County of Newell when we extend ourselves, and the board would not be a bad board to be on if I am successful. I would really like to have a go at it. So with your support, I would complete the nomination papers and prepare myself in that regard.
Okay, thank you. I think we just need a motion to nominate or support Councillor Chrisman to go forward with that application.
I'll make that motion to support Kelly on her bid for RMA.
RMA board.
Board.
Yeah, in the event that it becomes an actuality, right? Okay. Or the opportunity is, we know the details. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor, please indicate. That is carried. Thank you. We wish you well in that.
Thank you.
There's another post-agenda item. Sorry.
Sending a letter regarding the Canada
Oh, right.
petition.
Councillor Johnson, you wanted to talk about...
Yeah, I do. Like I said before, that petition just went in, whatever it's called, Canada Forever, Forever in Canada. I think it'd be really cool, and I talked to maybe 10 of my constituents sprinkled around the county, and everybody thinks that we have to do all we can to damper. I'm trying to put this in a very polite way. I could put it really quickly with other words. A letter of support or a letter of, I'm not even sure what you'd call it, to our MLA, suggesting that we are very much pro-Canada and to maybe fast track the referendum on separation, it'd be a referendum on staying in Alberta, that we support that, and just a good news letter. Request. I don't know whether it's interfering or not. I feel that the Alberta government has no problem interfering with what we do, so it would give some direction and some good support and some good feedback to all the separatist rhetoric that's around right now. And I think it's a good time to do it because we're a new council. The petition just got handed in. That's the end of my speech. Think about it.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Holly Johnson.
I wouldn't support that motion. I don't believe that is in our wheelhouse. We're municipal. I think our government has many important economic decisions on their plate trying to work with the federal government to be a benefit to Alberta. I think that is just a distraction from the issue at hand. So, all the issues facing us. It's only so much time in the day for everyone, and I don't think this issue rises to the top. So I would vote against it.
Okay, thank you.
Is that a motion from Neil?
Pardon me?
Is that a motion?
No, I didn't have a motion. There wasn't a motion, but Councillor Baumgarten.
I also have trouble supporting this, mainly in the fact that I'm not sure exactly how many people in Div 1 are of the opinion each way. So until I had a really good, solid idea of where the positioning is for my division, I don't feel that I'm authorized to support or deny that one. So I think it's beyond our jurisdiction unless we have some sort of a formal polling or survey or anything that tells where people are thinking. Because I've heard people support and be against that. So I don't know which way I would have to go in terms of representing Div 1. So that's why I really have trouble supporting that one.
We're seeing no other hands. I too would say, go ahead, Councillor Skander.
Well, I can't say right now if I would vote for or against, but I do want to say that I have seen on CTV News that she has flat out said she does not support separating, and I just feel bombarded right now with so much negative social media and negative news media. I feel like we're not really going to get, it's just not something that we should hang our hat on right now, is in my opinion.
Okay, thank you. I think we're not talking about anyone in particular at this point. I think the discussion is whether or not we want to send a letter of support for a petition that has been circulated. There's been petitions on either side of a range of issues that that are all dealt with on a personal basis. And I would agree that it's a fray that we don't need to enter into at this point. And I don't see an upside for us. All of us individually, as individuals, are free to say and engage in those kinds of things as we want to. But I think at this point, I don't think it would be a good idea for us to engage in that, given where it's at and the nature of the situation. So, Neil, go ahead.
Well, that's fair enough. I just felt it was, I feel very strongly, obviously, on that subject, and I would use any means I could to support what I was talking about. But I understand where everybody else is coming from too. But I must travel strange circles because I don't know one person, that supports this or supports separatism. That's why I brought it up, just from a conversation I was having.
Okay. No, that's fair enough, and I think you're free to act individually as you please on that. That's makes a lot of sense. So, okay. I'm going to suggest we move on. Back to the agenda item that I said we hadn't done. I think we all have the opportunity to introduce ourselves as briefly or as lengthily as we'd like to with regard to what our interests are in terms of seeing the county move forward in the next period of time. And let's start over here with Councillor Kopp.
Okay, what to say? After 4 years of being on council, I feel like I'd just like to carry on with the momentum that we have started and continue some of the projects we have had a hand in getting rolling. Yeah, that's about it. Steady on.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Baumgartner.
Well, I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve Division 1. My background is mainly in the oil field. I spent about 30 years there, starting in operations and working my way up to senior management in Calgary. Moved out here in 2020. I really am excited and encouraged about the potential in the area, and I was happy to see what I have seen so far from the county, and I'm hoping that we carry on in allowing people the best opportunities they have to be successful and not being overbearing or intrusive in their lives. So I'm hoping to keep legislation, jurisdiction to as low as possible, but still maintain an efficient and orderly county. So that's where I'm coming from.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Johnson.
I think our county did a lot of good work. Our council the last 4 years, we finished a lot of projects and we checked off many of them that were on our strategic priorities list. I think I'm proud of the work that we've done. My background is in a lot of work in social services and in business and agriculture. So I am looking forward to forwarding things in all three of those venues with a special focus on promoting agriculture. And I think we have a great 4 years ahead of us.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor Neil Johnson.
I've really enjoyed my last 4 years here. I call this County Shangri-La because I've met councillors from various parts of the province, become pretty good friends with a few of them. And we are totally blessed tax-wise. But we have challenges. We've got 5 or 6 old arenas kicking around that are going to need money. We've got community halls that everybody loves. I think we have to get really progressive. You're going to hear me bring this up a million times. Data center, data center, data center to replace the oil and gas money that's going down. But I'm sure we can do it. We got a new aggressive bunch of people on the board, and I'm really looking forward to particularly the economic development, pulling off that CDC, I'm going to call it an adventure, which would be a real thorn in our crown on our head, not a thorn. We've got some challenges ahead of us, but I know we're going to pull it off pretty good. Just need some ideas, some projects, something to do. So that's where my background is, a little bit of everything. And that's about it.
Thank you. Councillor Scantreau.
So my background, I've been 30 years on the farm. Before that, I grew up in Brooks. My dad had a couple of different businesses in town, which I worked kind of closely with them, which goes to my idea that you work hard, you get paid. If you don't work hard, you should be kicked to the curb. But that's just me. I like to do what's right the first time. I have 25 years experience with ATB Financial. I quit working at the bank when banks decided they didn't want to be responsible for customer service. And that's when I went into a couple of different things. Got 4 grown children. They make my hair grayer every day. I like what we got going on with the county. I like being involved and representing the county of Newell when we go places. I like to be that positive reflection of the county of Newell. You'll often hear me go whoop whoop, by the way.
Thank you. Councillor Hofer.
My name is Benjamin Hofer, and a brief history of myself is I grew up on a farm and decided to leave at an early age and came out here into the real world, and that's where it all started for me. And business owner for 23 years, and then I decided to join the county, and from everywhere I've seen, I've lived in the county all my life, and the one thing that I've never had an issue with, I've never ever had to call the county. So, you know, coming into this is new for me, but my ambitions are to make everybody happy in the county, not just my district, everybody else. That, you know, if there's things that anybody needs, we all decide together, and we make it happen as best of our abilities that we can. And yeah, economic development is important to me as well. I want to see growth in the county. I want to see new people, new housing projects, all that good stuff, acreages, whatever. Land development into irrigation, that kind of thing. And that's my mission, and I hope that we can succeed at it.
Thank you. Councillor Screever.
Thank you, Arno. Yeah, I'm a fourth generation County of Newell kid. Grew up in Tilly on the farm. I left the farm into the real world. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But I did. I went to school in Calgary, and I've been 25, well, close to 30 years in the insurance business. After a couple failures in small business, I decided to go into an industry that people felt there was a need. So as far as looking into the future with the county, we had some really good projects that we finished up, and I'm hoping that, as Neil said, get some projects on our own put together. I know the energy from waste is going to be a big project, and just seeing crop diversification center south come into being something positive again, like it was when I was a kid, and a lot of these things we were able to do that with the great people in the county of Newell, and a great council, and a great staff here at the county of Newell. So we're in really good shape, and I'm looking forward to the future.
Thank you. Councillor Chrisman.
I'm Kelly, Division 6, and I have been in municipal government. I'm starting my 46th year this year. 33 years at the town of Bassano, the last 12 years here at the county as a councillor, and I've been blessed to have been appointed as Deputy REEVE for the last 7 years, so thank you for your support on that. I am a mother of 2 adult children. They've blessed us with 5 grandchildren. One family lives in the county of Newell, the other one lives over in,
Willow Creek.
is it? Thank you. Okay. Willow Creek area. And they both live on the farm. One is actively ranching, and the other is in the oil and gas industry and dabbling hobby farm like his mom and dad did all these years. Doug and I both worked full-time off our 180-acre land base all our years, and we're talking about slowing down, but we haven't got there yet. So my involvement at the county has been an active team player. It's just been the last little while that I've felt supported to branch out and maybe spread my wings a little bit. So I have to thank you for that and giving me that encouragement along the way. The county is the best place in the province, in my opinion. We have the best staff. We have a young staff. That doesn't equate to dollars, but it should, because working in a place with elderly staff is not the best situation. So that's my political answer to that question. We are blessed in the businesses that we do have, and I think supporting and retaining those businesses is very important. They pay our bills, not just our businesses, but our residents as well. And so having happy ratepayers is top of my list. Welcome to the new councillors, just before I end, REEVE Dirksen. Welcome to the board, and I think we're going to have a great 4 years.
Thank you for that, and I would agree on the positive outlook. I think it's been a real privilege to be part of this council for the last 4 years. I think back 4 years ago, we didn't come here because there was something to fix. Things were working well, and that is a credit to our staff and to the councillors who came before us, and I sincerely appreciate that. It's been a real privilege to serve as REEVE for this group, and as I said before, the fact that all of us get our marching orders and the strength of our position from the 9 people that sit at this table, and that's an honor, and it's also a privilege, and the diversity that we represent is important. We don't have to agree on everything all the time. That's a healthy thing, that we represent a broad range of perspectives, and that's excellent. I think the challenge of CDC, the outcome is still uncertain, but I think it's headed in the right direction. That's been an opportunity that I credit council for saying, yeah, let's give this a shot. I think the whole matter of data centers in terms of the future, we need to capitalize on that where we can, because I think it's important. We're in good shape for some road development coming forward too, and that too is a credit to council for working together. We haven't demanded things, but we've just said there's some things that need to happen, and I think we have a tremendous opportunity going forward to capitalize on some of that. In terms of economic development, data centers are important. You know, CDC will hopefully show up on the right side of the account at some point as well. The other thing is water. Water development for irrigation is huge. I think as irrigators, we've been too status quo for too long. Status quo is good. We've got a great system. But I would remind us that in 1914, when the Bassano Dam was built, they identified 440,000 acres of land that should be irrigated, and we're at about 311. Imagine the dynamic to this area if we started to head towards the long-term vision that the province had for this area which was closer to 550,000 acres. That isn't up to us. We don't make those decisions, but I think we can work together with other irrigators to maybe bring that vision back into focus because there's huge opportunity there. And we're one of the few areas that has the water and the land and the infrastructure that just needs to be added to expand that. So those are some things that I see us working on together with our partners. We can't, like I said, we're not decision makers in a lot of those things, but we can be facilitators and also agents of change, which I think is one of our roles as well. So look forward to the next year at a time, but the next 4 years. What an opportunity and a privilege to work with all of you. I couldn't be more pleased with the group that I have the privilege of being a part of. So thank you, and let's charge ahead. Okay. With that, if someone made a motion, we would move in camera, and we do have an FCSS matter to deal with in camera, I believe. Are there other things as well?
I do have some advice for you.
Okay. Okay. So a motion to move in camera. Councillor Christman, all in favor, please.